Heroes of Greyhawk is a game played by adults and recorded for an adult audience. Sometimes we use adult language and explore adult topics. Consider yourself warned.
My friends, last time on the Outlaws of Greyhawk, our gang joined a bugbeared riverboat captain named Drothak and his crew of Hobgoblin oarsmen along an old smuggling route beneath the Callenstrin countryside, a little-known subterranean waterway connecting Lake Erston to Wyestill Lake. The gang took time to heal their wounds from the hunting lodge assault that had happened just that night prior. They kept vigilant during this voyage to avoid giant slime crabs and lightning eels, the drip drips and the zap zaps. After hours of travel, the skiff pulled up to a rickety landing where the passengers and horses disembarked. During their rest, I did everything that I could, you guys, to entice at least one of them. Just one is all I needed to imbibe a very hallucinogenic mushroom tea that the Hobgoblin crew brewed up, but they thwarted me. Instead, they acted more responsibly, which blew my mind, honestly.
What the fuck, you know?
Grukka and Portis discussed the whereabouts of the missing orb, a crystalline sphere acquired during the stagecoach heist, but now missing from the cargo. Grukka expressed concerns that the item's absence might affect their payday, while Melantha assured the two that she did not have the item. So that led them to Philiomena, who had incidentally wandered off a bit away from the camp. As Philiomena was sleeping later, Portis, under the ever-watchful eye of Melantha pilfered through the girl's belongings, withdrawing the missing orb. And with the thief confirmed, the sphere was replaced along with Philomena's things, and the party did their best to get their rest. Though each turned to thoughts of darkness in their slumber, guilt, fear, some treacherous promise. Portis in particular woke from this sort of frightful vision to find himself somehow different. His tongue now forked after a visitation from his goddess, Cyril. Strangely, he sought counsel with Philomena, who revealed her own deceitful connection to the Merchants Guild, specifically the guildmaster, an elven woman named Ariana Valerith, known to some as the Governess. And the two conversed in the darkness before loading onto the skiff with their companions and continuing towards Crockport through these subterranean canals. Grukka had a creepy conversation with himself, while Mel revealed a bit of her sordid past, including the origins of her little black book and her motivation for revenge, with the innocently curious Philomena, who seemed very keen on learning about her companions, which is in no way suspicious whatsoever. And so it came to pass that these here outlaws emerged from the subterranean waterway and paddled across a broad estuary before mooring at a secluded pier in Crockport's Wharf District. They were met by Portis's contact, a man named Carver, and his crew, who paid the party, took possession of the cargo. Carver informed Portis and his companions that the cargo would be loaded onto a ship by the name of the Harrower and set for departure the next morning. So under the cloak of darkness, the gang disbanded, if only for a moment, each of them off to gather their things, take stock of their situations. Grukka off to see the site of his master Adon's burned out smithy. Melantha to the shipyard in search of Jameson Longton. Portis to his dorm in the Temple of Procan, and Philomena to the hovel where she and her mother had once lived. And it is here, my friends, where we will return to tonight's session in the night. A night in Crockport, a port city that never really sleeps. There's all kinds of things going on, and the four of you have interestingly split up to take care of a few things. And so I think what we'll do is I would love to start with Melantha. Now, Melantha, you give us a sort of a lowdown on what you had intended to do with this brief time before you reconvene at the Rusty Anchor with your companions.
So my first thing that I wanted to do is to go deal the death notice to Jameson about his brother. Go and hang out at the nearest, tavern right by the shipyard. See if I can find him, scout him out or just wait for him, see if he shows up?
Yes, there are a number of different taverns and brothels and inns that line the wharf district near these shipyards. So if you recall, the shipyards themselves are zones of industry where hammers and saws can be heard throughout the day and night. They have been walled off to keep prying eyes from investigating too deeply into whatever modifications and ships are being built by the king in preparation for a coming war. And as you sort of approached the shipyard, you noticed that there were workers that were sort of being left off of their shift. They were coming out of the gates. There's a small guardhouse that is set up near the entrance. And you see that there are many of the individuals who are leaving the shipyard are heading to a small rickety old tavern. And you can tell as you look over, you see this old sign that's kind of almost falling off these chains as it kind of swings. It's called the Wharf Rat. And you can see a bunch of people are going in there. You can see a few buildings down is your ultimate destination, the Rusty Anchor. But a lot of these individuals are going into this Wharf Rat. You see many of these men and women kind of walking past you as you're standing there.
Okay. So Melantha will go in to the Wolf Rat. She will sit in a corner, kind of to where she can see the whole tavern, just to see people walk in, but not have her back to the door. You know, order a drink not to make her look suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, sit there and sip on her drink, sip on her ale, and wait to look for, you know, an elf with 2 ears, because that was the only description that I got.
Yeah, I mean, you sit down in this place. As you walk in, you can tell that there's a lot of people who have a lot of pent up energy. There's drinks are being passed around. There seems to be a jovial sort of atmosphere inside. There are servers walking around taking orders from primarily the workers that have flooded into this place. It looks like they're well staffed, and as you sit down at one of the only vacant tables, there are a couple of chairs at the table, but you take one, it's against the wall, and this woman comes up to you, and she has under one arm she's got like a platter, and she's got a little bit of perspiration on her brow. She looks to be maybe middle-aged human, and she's got a slight limp as she walks across. Very very difficult to see generally, but you're on the lookout right now. So with your perception sort of keen, you notice that she's got a little bit of a limp. She walks up, she says, "Is there something I can get for you then? An ale or a wine?"
Your finest ale will do.
"Will do. That'll be 2 gold pieces." And she walks away without taking the money yet. She walks off, and you can just see all these people about. Give me a perception check as you scan the crowd.
Okay. Well, my D&D Beyond is just not wanting to work, so it's like loading. So I don't see anything.
Okay, well, give me a D20
do it on my
roll.
phone as well. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, you know, it worked and then it didn't. That's a 2.
A 2 on the die. Okay, yeah. So you look around, and there's certainly elvish. There's people of elvish ancestry inside this place. You can certainly tell that there are dwarves, there are halflings, mostly humans. You could see a couple of gnomes as well. But yeah, it seems like at this point you get the sense that maybe you're searching for a needle in a haystack kind of thing, and perhaps some other more active investigation might help find this individual.
Okay, so I'll wait until, you know, I guess the barkeep comes back with my ale, and then see if I can get anything from her.
Okay. Yep. A minute passes or so, a couple minutes maybe, and this individual walks back to you and says, 2 gold, dear. And she sets this frothy mug of ale A little bit of the head of the beer is pouring over the side and dripping onto the table.
So I push over 10 gold and I say, you can have everything, but I need a little bit of information.
Her eyes light up and she looks around and she slides into one of the chairs at your table and she just scoops the coins over to her apron and they disappear into a little pocket. What can I help you with, dear? Anything.
I'm looking for an elf. Jameson is the only name I have for him. I guess you could say he possibly talks about a brother, maybe in a very well-known, band of a group of just, famous, well-known people. You happen to know anybody?
Does he work at the shipyard, dear?
Yeah, I've heard he might.
Well, this is the place to find him if he is. Let me ask around for you. I talk to a lot of people here, as you can probably guess, and maybe I can dig something up for you. You just sit tight. I'll keep that ale of yours full.
Appreciate it.
She slides up as she gives you a little wink, and then she goes about her business. About 15 minutes or so pass, and she comes by with another mug of ale, yours being empty or full. I don't know if you would have drank it, but nevertheless, she sets down another full mug next to the one that you have in front of you. And she says, it just so happens there's an elvish fella goes by the name of Jameson right over there, dear, the blonde. And you look over and you can see there's this table of men and women who look like they came off the line at the shipyard. And indeed, there's this blonde elf who's just kind of sitting there, real stoic. He looks tired, worn. The others are sort of getting into their cups pretty heavily, and they're sort of like arguing, and he's just very quiet, just kind of sitting, taking it all in.
So I, look back at her and I say, thank you. That's all I'll say. And then I walk over and I sit in the chair right next to Jameson.
There's all this conversation going on. There's this argument taking place. Most of the people that are involved in this heated conversation about someone's talking about maybe forming some sort of an organized, I don't know, like a workers group to sort of complain about the working conditions in the shipyard. The shipyard has been pushing it like double time to try to get a bunch of things done. The Ironworks shipyard is what you hear, Ironclad shipyard. And you get a sense that there's a little bit of, not that this concerns you that much, but that there's some sort of tension between the managers and some of the workers. Security has been beefed up. There's a lot of pressure to meet these different production goals, and people are unhappy. So they're arguing about that. Really pay no attention to it, mostly if you're not interested in that. But this individual, this blonde elven man who you believe to be Jameson, not even involved in the conversation, he just looks over and he says, well, howdy. What's your name?
Does my name matter?
I suppose it don't.
Well, I'm just here to deliver some news I thought you might need to hear.
Me? I ain't never met you before. How do you know me?
Guess you could say I'm got a little bit of ties with your brother.
My brother, Vargas?
Yes, Vargas. That's his name.
How you know that old bastard? He ain't even around these parts anymore, as far as I can tell. Of course, I haven't seen him in about a year or two.
Well, work intertwined our fates, I guess you could say, together. Had a nice conversation with him. That's about it.
That's one hell of a message you got for me. You had a conversation with my brother. I get the sense that maybe you got more to say. Maybe we should step away from this, whatever this is. Fellas, you're never going to change a goddamn thing. And he just kind of gets up And he looks over at you and says, "You need something to drink, dear?"
No, I'm fine. I'm being taken care of.
He's like, he just kind of walks over and finds a little spot that's a little bit outside of all of the hullabaloo of the workers. If you got something to say about my brother, I'm interested in hearing it.
I do. Your brother's dead. Basically.
Come again?
He died, I guess you could say. There was no way of saving him. I'm sorry. I'm not very good at doing this. I'm not very emotionally...
Well, step back a minute. You say it's one way of saying it. Like, is he dead? What the hell happened? What happened to Vargas?
This job, we were supposed to deliver cargo. We did, but of course we got raided by rangers. We were ambushed in the middle of the night.
Wait.
No one was prepared. A lot of people fell.
Rangers?
Your brother, one of them.
Vargas told me he was working for the Merchants Guild. What do you mean, He's a businessman.
Well, your brother lied to you. He was not working for the Merchants Guild.
You tell me he's gone?
Yeah, he's gone. And Mel puts her hand on his shoulder.
He kind of recoils a little bit, but then sort of like just lets it happen.
And she tells him, "Look, I know how it is to lose a close family member, especially someone who you thought you knew who they were, and you didn't realize who they were until after they died, until after they were gone. I understand these feelings. I understand where you're coming from, how you're feeling."
It's funny because I ain't even thought of Vargas in well over a year probably, but now I'm just awash with emotion. Why is that? I never even said goodbye to him, or I don't even know where he was living.
Kind of funny, actually. Your story is a lot like mine. I never got to say a proper goodbye to my brother. He was buried in the village where I was exiled from. I never got to say goodbye. Never got to properly mourn.
Just don't seem fair. Just don't seem fair, does it?
It's not. That's why I'm on this path of revenge right now. This path that is swallowing me whole, is killing every emotion that I have. This path is not for the weak of mind or heart. You have to be prepared to become a slave to revenge.
I don't think I want that for myself, but you said the Callinston Rangers did this to my brother?
Yes.
And you knew my brother pretty well?
Unfortunately not.
Was he
we were there for a short time.
Was he a good man, or was he an outlaw?
I don't think I should, really say whether he was or not, because I hardly knew him. You thought you knew your brother, just like I thought I knew my brother. Honestly, if you don't want to live knowing that you didn't know who your brother was, think of the good times that you had with him. Think of the happy memories that you had with him.
Is that how
Don't.
is that how you deal with the loss of your brother? Through happy memories and dark, deep-seated revenge?
Unfortunately, I wish I could say that, but all I have is hatred and revenge in my body and soul right now.
Let me ask you a question then. When you get that revenge, is that going to make it all better?
I don't think it will. I've already given everything to revenge. It is. I live, I breathe, I kill for revenge. I will eventually die for revenge. It's not a life to live. But knowing that I need to find my brother's killer and clear my name so that I can properly mourn my brother is what drives me forward until I have no more breath in my lungs that I can give. It's not
Damn.
easy.
That don't
It's
sound
not.
easy. That sounds right intense. I was thinking about crying for a couple hours and then saying a few prayers. Let me ask you, my brother's body, do you know where it is? Was he given a proper burial? Was he laid to rest? Was the words of the gods spoken over his corpse before they covered him in dirt?
I hate to say, once your brother fell, we didn't have time to do anything for him or any of the others that have fallen. We had to get in there, make sure everything for our job was taken care of, and we had to get out of there.
Why did you come here to tell me all this terrible news? Why? What's the point of this? I mean, my brother's gone.
Look,
Damn it.
this is deterring me from my path, but the one conversation that I had with your brother and him telling me about you, it did bring back memories that I had forgotten of me and my brother together, happy, carefree, not a worry in the world. Because that's how my brother wanted me to be. This naive little, happy little girl that didn't have to worry about anything. I wanted you to know, and I wanted to tell you what happened to your brother, because I felt like my brother's spirit was pushing me towards you, wanting me to tell you so that you wouldn't go on this path that I am. Because I feel it. I feel my brother would be very disappointed in me and what I've become, what I've done. But my brother's disappointment and my path of revenge are on two different levels. One far outweighs the other. And I can feel guilt and hatred for myself after I have found and delivered exactly what happened to my brother's murder.
Well, I can tell by the nature of this conversation that you aren't here to cheer me up about my brother's death. But I do appreciate, I guess, knowing what happened to him. Knowing that it was them Callinston Rangers that done it.
Death is never a happy time.
No.
This first time I've ever even delivered a death notice to anyone, but because I felt our situations were similar, I felt like I had to. And I don't do this very often. I don't show emotion. I feel that keeping that deep, buried deep down, helps me to not deter from my goal.
God damn, you're dark. You're going to carry
Revenge has
around
made me
that
this
guilt.
way.
You're going to carry around that until the end.
For the rest of my damn life, I will.
Well, I guess thank you for bringing me this information about my brother, Vargas. I will mourn him as best I know how. And I will say a prayer for his safe passage to wherever we go, whether that's to some godly plane or just to the worms in the earth. Hope he got a proper burial. Shit. I'll say a prayer for you too. Maybe someday you can find an end to the hatred you're carrying in your heart. He takes a big swig off of his mug, kind of sets it down. He just reaches over to you and kind of just gently touches your arm and just says, "Thank you." Wipes the tear from his eye. And he does not go back to the table. You watch as he walks away and he leaves the tavern and goes out into the dark night.
So after that, she'll breathe. She'll pull in a deep breath and hold it for a couple of seconds and let it out. And she'll kind of like shake herself, get her out of that emotional funk, that emotional situation, and she'll kind of put like her cool mask back on, her unfeeling dark mask back on, and she'll go back into the tavern. She'll have a couple more drinks and, you know, wait until it's time to meet at the tavern with everybody.
Okay. All right. So you take your seat in this tavern as the men and women are celebrating or commiserating or whatever it is. They're getting inebriated and imbibing for sure. And you just sort of sit as a silent observer, sipping your ale before you're due to meet your companions at the Rusty Anchor. Okay. We'll go next over to Portis. Portis, you, if I recall correctly, you had made your way back to the Temple of Procan, where you dorm amongst the other clergy members, Father Lannister and Brother Andreas. Of course, Balthazar, the handyman who pokes about the grounds, keeping things in order and whatnot. You had gone to your dorm. You had taken stock of this modification that you received from your vision, this strangeness with your forked tongue. And as you are gathering yourself together, give us a sense of what you're doing in this space and maybe what your dorm looks like.
Well, the dorm is rather sparse. There's no reason to keep such worldly possessions in such a small place. It's not a large church, so it's not extremely spacious in terms of storage or anything like that, let alone comfort. But I do change back into my cowl and my outfit of Procan, and I do store what little I do have to save place, because I know that my quarters are, if sparse, they are serviceable in as much as I have very little to keep. But I thought that I would stay the night, and I've changed my mind. So I would like to prepare a travel bag, and I think that I will venture to the Rusty Anchor, but I should check in nonetheless and see if I can find a Father Lannister.
As the hour is late, Generally, Father Lannister might have taken his leave after a nice 1 or 2 glasses of port wine, as is his nature to do in the evenings. But as you come out of your dorm room and you have your traveling bag with you, and you look about, you can see just a little bit of light glowing from underneath the high priest's door to his chambers, which is on the same level of this sort of like almost pinnacle-like tower. You think about this promontory that sort of overlooks Crockport and the ocean on the other side, and you can there's this winding spiral staircase that leads to 4 floors. The 5th of which is this sort of overlook where you can see the ocean, and oftentimes prayers are held there, that kind of thing. But you're on like the 2nd or 3rd floor, we'll say the 2nd floor, where the dorms are. The 1st floor being more of like the temple area and place where the people would come to take part in the ceremonies. Nonetheless, you see that there is a little bit of light glowing from underneath the door to Father Lannister's chambers.
I'll knock gently.
Yes, come in.
I'll open the door.
Oh,
Father.
Portis.
Pardon the late evening. Yes.
No, it's fine. He pulls on like an overshirt, and you can see he's got a candle lit. And he just sort of picks the candle up and sort of looks in your direction. Yes, Portis. What is it at this hour? Come, is everything okay?
It is. I wanted to let you know that I returned, but I will be leaving again. I had a few questions for you, though. I thought perhaps I could.
Leaving already? But you just returned.
I know it.
Did things go well with the missionary work?
Very well. Yes.
Oh, good. Good.
I wouldn't be surprised if our patrons increase.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
Well, you're doing just a wonderful job in the name of Procan, and your diligence and your piety has been noticed, I will say. Now, what can I help you with at this hour? What questions might you have for me, brother?
I do appreciate your kind words, Father, and it warms my heart to know that Procan and you, in particular, as his emissary, have noticed my work. It's just an odd thing. While I was traveling, I picked up a few bits of information that I'm not sure what to do with. And one thing I'm wondering,
yes.
you know the area. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have some seafaring past, I would imagine.
Oh, indeed, I've traveled the White Cell as well as the Near Div, many a day, week, and month on board various vessels in my time, of course, yes.
And no better service to Procan.
Indeed,
sure.
Indeed. Communion with the oceans are of the utmost importance.
Indeed they are. Indeed they are. It is a grand reminder of whom we serve.
Indeed.
In your travels,
Yes.
have you ever crossed an area of unique coastal stones of any import?
Coastal stones like cliff faces and such, very rugged shorelines that would dash a ship to bits. Yes, indeed. In fact, I've been nearly vanquished in such large storms along the shorelines and on many an occasion. Yet must be careful on the oceans.
Indeed.
Yes.
Praise Procan for choosing your fate to be fulfilled on a longer line, if you
Yes, a very long line indeed. Look at me. The years seem to have caught up with me, Portis. I do not bear the blessings of youth as you do. But I am still here.
Yeah, indeed. And may I be so fortunate as well.
It seems, Brother Portis, that you are perhaps inquiring about something more specific.
Yes, however, I don't know the exact nature of it. So I'm wondering if there's anything that stands out in particular to you that Sea Cliff may be indeed the nature of the thing, but it must be unique. It must be substantial of some note.
Is it a reference to a story you heard, or a tale, or a song, or some such? There are many shanties, of course, that tell tales both fictional and not of these ocean voyages.
Perhaps a bit of poetry.
No, yes. Well, do you have the lines of this poem at your disposal?
In fact, I do. Let me see. Yes. As best I can recall, it has something to do with where the seabirds nest
Oh,
and the tides are kept. Seek the stones that stand where quietude rests. Something along that line.
it doesn't rhyme very well, but it nevertheless, not one to judge. I'm not an artiste. Oh no!
Nor am I.
Oh, Portis.
I have 2 left hands and 2 left feet.
Oh, such a good man you are, Portis. Nevertheless, these lines, they do evoke a vision of a place that I do know of, along the southern shoreline of Wretched, not far from here, a few days vessel by vessel, but there's a place that is home to a sizable shorebird colony, Gull Keep, it is called. And what is the bit about quietude again?
Where quietude rests, slumbers, perhaps.
Oh, quietude slumbers. Yes. I would be willing, with Procan's grace, to suggest that this is a reference to an old fane, if you will, a series of standing stones not far from the old landing at Gull Keep. They are, of course, had been built for some sort of worship to the old gods. They may still stand, I do not know.
Fascinating. You have been there before?
Oh, long ago when I was, maybe about your age, actually. Although I wasn't as pious and as good of heart as you are at that time in my life. But we all have history, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely, I do. That is fascinating. It sounds like it may be worthy of a visit.
Yes, indeed. If you visit there, I would love to hear of your experience. If the Fanes still stands, it would be wonderful to know this.
I would be delighted to report back.
Oh, you are a good man. Where do you intend to travel to next, Brother Portis?
Now that you mention it,
always
I
busy.
Well, the work is never done, and I find the church lovely, but a bit drafty at times this time of year.
Oh, yes. Well,
So
that's probably because Brother Andres keeps leaving the doors open.
Yes, he is a youthful spirit.
Yes, he does.
I think I may head southward. Why not make a stop off at these stones and then do some proselytizing that direction?
Well, I encourage you to do so and to take good notes along the way. And it seems as though you are already gathering stories and tales. These can be important reminders of things that have happened or things that have yet to occur. So
Very well, very astute.
Keep your
very well said.
eyes and your ears open. There are mysteries and clues everywhere we look. Indeed.
There are indeed, and it is at a time of such uncertainty on the northern borders, no less.
Indeed. The stones themselves along the shoreline, the Gull Keep could be indeed a place of strategic occupation, so be careful should you venture there.
I'm glad to hear that. Thank you so much.
Indeed,
for that,
indeed.
bit of
Gull
information.
Keep.
Gull Keep.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, is there anything else I can help you with, brother?
I heard a name, and I don't know anything about it. So I thought perhaps, have you heard the name? Again, my memory. You credit me for being young, but I have gaps in the specifics sometimes. Magistrate Crane, or something to that effect. Magnanimous Crane. Does that?
I believe you refer to a businessman of sorts named Magnus Crane. Yes, I have heard this name before. Yes.
Oh,
I do not know much about the man other than he has been or is or was involved in a great deal of commerce through Crockport at one time. Yes, indeed. His shipments coming in and out of the port were well, let's just say they're well known to those who lived here, and he employed perhaps many wharfmen along the way. But it's strange. I don't recall anything in particular about the man other than the name.
Those who peddle in coin and wares oftentimes are somewhat anonymous for various reasons. They in some ways it honors Procan in the collection of wealth. It's not unlike our god to respect that sort of desire. However, we are mere mortals.
Brother Portus, if I may offer a bit of advice from an elderly practitioner to one so innocent and young in their years. Do not be distracted by the sound of coin as it jingles in a pouch. Cast the pouch into the ocean. Honor Procan with goodness, and beware of his wrath upon the sea. Do those things, and you will find prosperity, and you will find peace with the way things are.
Thank you, Father. Thank you for that reminder. I was reflecting more in line with this Magnus Crane and those of his ilk, but perhaps those blessings, should they be from Procan, are intended for individuals unique to their birth line or their birthright. Fate is unknown and indeterminate, and Procan sees to that. So I would leave such things to individuals like Magnus Crane to collect their wares as they will, and I will do as you say and make my donations to the sea.
Very well. You are a good man, Portus, one that I can always count on, and I appreciate that.
I have a good model in you, Father, and I do appreciate your leadership.
You honor me by saying so. Thank you. Now, unless there's something else, I should take my rest. I was just journaling a bit, and you can see on his desk there's an open journal. And you can also tell by the candle that it has burned down almost to like the wick basically is almost burned to the end. So it looks like he's been up for a while.
I do beg your pardon again, and I appreciate your time.
Before you go, I did think of one thing, and he walks over to a bookshelf and he pulls a book off, and it's this leather-bound book, and he opens it up, and a piece of parchment falls out and lands on the floor, and he kind of bends over and picks it up, and he hands it to you, and he says, This is a map. Yes, at one point I had taken up some cartography, and I was attempting to map the shoreline of the lake. Why still? So this may be of help to you.
Right. Thank you very much. I appreciate this. I take it as a token of your kindness as much as an aid in my travels.
Indeed. I see good things in you, Brother Portus.
Again, Father, I owe it to you, and I do appreciate your guidance.
Stay on the path of righteousness,
Indeed, I
and
shall.
you will be protected.
Have a good evening.
Good night, my friend.
I will slip back out the door.
As you exit the door, you are startled as the door closes to see Brother Andreas standing there. Well, Portus. Nice that you stopped by. I noticed that you've been gone for, I don't know, a couple days. Let me ask you a quick question. What was all that about Gull Keep?
I'm sorry.
I'm just curious. I happened to overhear a conversation, nothing more, as I walked past the door. Gull Keep, Magistrate Crane and the like. What is this line of questioning?
I start moving towards the stairs.
He just kind of follows, he's got his sort of arms crossed, his hands sort of inside of the lineaments, the robes that he wears, as he's just kind of following you and talking. What is that? Sorry?
I'll head upstairs. Do you wish to accompany me to prayers?
Yes, of course. But I am curious to know, what you and the good Father Lannister were discussing at this hour.
I'll start climbing the stairs. It's so interesting that you would be so curious. If you were out and about recruiting for the church, perhaps you would find your own points of inquiry that might benefit the faith.
Well spoke. I catch your meaning, brother. But while I am serving those in most need here in Crockport, I can't help but notice that you are off on some sort of pilgrimage or mission. And now, as I see in your hand, your very hand, a traveling bag, you intend to set out again to this Gull Keep, I presume? What?
Oh, a Gull Keep. Gull Keep is a mere stopping point on my travel, a point of not vacation necessarily, but observation. Something to see. It seemed to be an interesting stopping. What, do you know anything of Gull Keep?
I know nothing of this place. I am only curious as to your comings and goings. Look for a moment, and you guys get onto this sort of landing, and it's an open air landing where you can see out into the darkness, and you can see the lights of Crockport off to the left, and you can see the darkness of Lake Wyastill off to the right, and you can hear the crashing of waves as they slam against the promontory that this temple is set upon. And he says, "This here is where I do my work, in the place where I've been stationed by our good father, and he above, and he below. These people of this town." What is that, Portus? What's in your mouth?
I'm sorry?
Your tongue. What?
Brother Andreas, if I may, you are an observant young man, and I see that the Father collects observant young men into the church for the benefit of the people, as you say.
Tell me, brother, what benefit to the people is carousing with this man Carver that I've seen you speak with on multiple occasions? A known criminal?
You follow me, Brother Andreas. Are you that jealous of my station?
I am skeptical of your commitment, Brother Portus.
I'll set my bag down. Do you wish to travel with me? Do you wish to go to Gull Keep?
I wish to see that tongue of yours.
You know that those who inquire too deeply into things that are none of their business often meet with information they don't wish to have. But if you wish to see my tongue, of all things, I shall show it to you. And I stick out my tongue. And as I do, I grab him by the lapel and I throw him over the edge.
Grukka's so proud.
All right, let's do this. Let's roll initiative. He's not expecting this, so go ahead and roll with advantage.
Come on, Portis!
You son of a gun.
Well, I got a natural 20 on the first one, so 22.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, so
Portis.
go ahead and describe as you grab him, he sees your tongue and he just gasps, "Forked tongue, you liar!" And then what happens?
I yank him off his feet and just left side throw him right over the parapet.
He just disappears in the darkness and you don't even hear a thud. I mean, you definitely pitched him into the water side.
Yeah,
So,
water side,
yeah. So nobody's going to like find his body in the grounds or anything as he just disappears into darkness.
And then I say
Jesus.
to Brocan, my offering. And I pick up my bag and I go downstairs and make my way to the Rusty Anchor.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Incredible.
All right. As you're making your way down to the Rusty Anchor to meet your companions, after having just thrown a man off of the temple and into the ocean. All right. A man that you lived with, a man that you prayed with. He was kind of a son of a bitch, though. All right, we'll go to Grukka next.
I'll pray for him again.
So Grukka, you find yourself, as you had indicated, you took your leave to go find the runes of Master Adon's smithy, and instead, as you approach, you find that it's been replaced. That there is a new smithy that's been rebuilt, essentially on the same footprint as Adon's smithy, and there is a sign that hangs above the doorway, and it says Hral's Ironworks. And it's relatively dark inside, although you can see just a little bit wisps of smoke maybe coming out of the chimney that goes to the forge, as you know, as there might be some fire still burning inside. And as you stand there, what are you doing? You're looking at this place kind of flabbergasted, perhaps.
I'm trying to think here. I have a question before I start.
Sure.
Where is Anvil? Do I have Anvil with me, or did I leave him down?
We're gonna hand wave the horses and say that they're taken care of.
Yeah, that's what else you guys want to make
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
He's kind of, it's kind of twilight. I'm assuming it's it's evening, and he's not gonna approach as soon as he realizes and sees that it's not a ruin, and he almost has like this like deja vu or like that shock of thinking, oh, it didn't burn down, maybe I'm just going crazy type, split second moment. But as soon as he realizes it's been rebuilt, he's going to kind of back up and just try to be, if there's people around or walking, he's going to look a little bit less conspicuous. He's already got his hood and cowl over, so you really can't see his face in a little darkness. But he's going to kind of go to an empty storefront or whatnot just across the street from it, looking at the main entrance. And he's basically, he's all by himself. He's got he himself and himself there, and he suddenly says to himself, "So, what were you expecting? Were you expecting there to be the ruins so you can come here and get some sort of redemption for yourself?" No, I feel too guilty for what happened. I just want it to be all over, done with. I want to start fresh. I want to make my own life. You know what you have to do. You don't see him here. What would he be doing here? You gotta find Cragtooth. put your past behind you. You gotta find Cragtooth. I don't want to kill anymore. You know you have to do it if you want to get on with your life. And he's gonna walk up to the door, of the shop itself. He's gonna see if it's open.
Of the smithy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
As
like
you walk up to the door opens. The door opens and this man walks out. This human-looking fellow he looks like he's got like a leather apron on. He's got a bottle in his hand, and he kind of stumbles to the door and doesn't even see you at first. He's like, "Oh, we're closed. Sorry, you'll have to come back in the morning."
My apologies. I definitely like your wares. And he's gonna let the guy, go past. Is he leaving? He's leaving the building.
He's just kind of walking out the door. He leaves the door open as he kind of pushes past you a little bit and looks back. He says, "Thank you for the kind compliment." And he just walks over to a bush and starts to relieve himself in a bush. And he's sort of like swaying a little bit.
Does he look like he's about to pass out, or is he just really
No, he just looks hammered.
I'm going to sneak into the smithy, and I'm going to close the door, and just to buy myself some time. If I remember correctly, there's possibly there's a way, behind, kind of to the back room. I know there's probably going to be a side door there that obviously easy to open from the inside if I have to get out of there. But he's going to close the door and lock it. If there's a latch there or whatever, he's going to latch it up so that if the guy tries to come back, he's going to wonder, he's drunk.
Yeah, immediately you hear banging on the door. "Hey, what the fuck is this? Hey, you thievery! Hey, help!" He starts shouting and banging on the door.
I open up the door, and I just look at him and I say, "We're closed." And I grab him by the apron and I yank him inside the smithy. And I proceed to, grab my hatchet out off my belt, and I'm just going to swing it right at his face.
Holy shit. Okay. Roll initiative.
I get +3.
Wow.
That's a...
Oh my god!
It's not
This
rust.
just-
that's
this
blood
just-
on the anchor.
Turned into an evil campaign, apparently.
That's a 16.
Just turned into an evil campaign, Dave?
This guy is
Melantha was
innocent. This is an innocent individual here. All right, go ahead. You have the initiative.
All right. Oh, actually, you didn't do beyond is down, but I did print out my character sheet beforehand, so
Yeah, I think
it
it's
was
down for
down.
everybody.
yeah, it's down right now. Hand axe. 1d6.
Just don't
I have
refresh
to roll
my
the hits,
page.
right?
Yeah, roll to hit.
I get shit. That's a 17 to hit.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage. That hits.
All right, 1d6 plus 3. 7 points of damage.
Oh, yeah, he's dead.
And
You just split his skull.
Grukka he knows immediately. He could tell from experience that there's no need to bring it back up and try to hit him again. He knows the guy's gone, and he's gonna stand up and he's gonna look down at the body and he's like, "What did you do?" "Oh, we had a good time."
As you say, "What did you do?" in your head, I'm gonna interrupt you. As you say, "What do you do?" in your head, you hear someone else saying, "What did you do?" as you hear a door open behind, and there's a woman standing there as you turn around, and she's like, "Earl, what did you do?" And she turns and she goes back into a room as you're standing there, and she grabs two small children and she races out the door and out the back door. You can hear her screaming as she's running down the road.
My head cocks into the direction with a little sneer on his face. "All right, do what you came here to do." So Grukka's gonna walk over. The forge is always hot. He's gonna take the poker. He's gonna start stoking it up a little bit. Hit the blower a little bit. Start getting the coals. Only takes literally 1 or 2 minutes, not even, just to get it hot enough. And he's gonna go into his pouch. He's gonna take out that ring, the finger with the ring on it. And he's gonna look at it and then just pull the ring off the finger. And with a tear in his left eye, he's gonna say, "Goodbye, Father." He's gonna drop the finger into the coals. And then he's gonna put the ring on his finger, and then he's gonna get the fuck out of there and head to the rusty anchor.
Give me a D6 roll.
D6 roll.
1 through 3 is bad. 4, 5, 6 is worse.
I got a 1.
Okay. As you race out of the front door of this smithy, or the back door, it doesn't even matter. You race out one of the doors of this smithy, and you can see that there are people starting to file out into the street. This woman howling as she's running from house to house. People are coming out with swords and axes and torches. And how are you going to get out of here? They're coming towards the smithy right now.
I am just gonna literally just be, it's not like I'm on a dead end road or anything. I'm just gonna literally book it down the closest alley, stick into the shadows, just run.
Okay. Give me a dexterity check.
Not my greatest score, but
Just a straight up dex roll.
Come on.
+1 on that dexterity. It's a 16. My dexterity is a 13. I don't know if you're comparing numbers or not.
Nope. Just the roll is fine. As you race through the darkness, you bump into this man, and as you fall down one way, he falls down the other way. The hood of your cloak comes back, and he sees your face, and he dropped his sword. It's laying on the ground, and he picks up the sword, and he just kind of holds it out. He says, "I know your face. I know your face. You're the Smithy's boy. The Smithy's boy. He's back." And then he gets up and he runs the opposite direction from where you are.
Does he run? Does he run the direction I just came from?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's terrified.
I am literally booking. I'm just like literally, one of those panic, just running, half crying, half laughing. Half of me is enjoying the shit out of this. The other half of me is terrified. And I'm just going to zigzag around, and at one point I'm going to kind of stop, maybe pick up some mud, just to dirty myself up, and just get to the rusty tankard and hope that my friends are there. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just looking.
You can hear bells start to ring in the neighborhood that you're in. People are filing out of their homes as people are calling out now that the Smithy's boy is back, and there's, they're crowding around a body that lays with its head split open by an axe. All right, so there's that.
By the other thing too, the axe probably would have stayed in his head. So
Sure.
It's buried there.
Okay. That was unexpected. I had so much for that guy to tell you, but there you go. All right.
I keep doing that to you.
Yeah.
First ghost, now this guy.
Yep. All right. So let's move on from that. We can. All right. So let's move on to Philiomena. So Philiomena, you had decided that you were going to go make your way to visit the old hovel where you and your mother lived. On the way, you stopped by an area where there were notices posted, like a job board, and there were some wanted posters, and you saw indeed that posted on the board was a likeness of yourself, and listed under the name The Broker. And you tore that off and changed your visage into Bonnie Hart to protect your identity. So with that having happened, what would you like to do?
I think she's very much lost in her head in this moment after she had seen that, put it in her bag, that she's walked this path many times. This is where she grew up, that she's autopilot just to her house.
Mm-hmm.
And before she's even realized that she is there, she's at the front door and her hand's going to the doorknob. And she pauses. And there's just a flood of emotion of initially she thought because of that autopilot she would see her mother on the other side.
How long has it been since you've been to this place?
It's been a while. It's been a long time.
Like more
I
than
think
just a
she
couple of
gone
days that
back
you've been on this
much
mission, right?
longer.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. There are cobwebs. It is not well taken care of. And I think she forces herself to open the door and confront that reality.
Sure. The door itself is sort of like Kitty Wampus on the hinges, as if it's like threatening to almost fall off the hinges. If there were panes of glass in the windows, they're broken. There's vines and verge growing out of like the old garden beds that you and your mother used to tend around the base of the foundation of the hovel and that sort of thing. The fence that sort of demarcated the small plot of land that you tended with your mother is broken and falling over and that sort of thing. But yeah, the door opens with a pretty substantial creak. And you look inside and it's just dark. It has that damp, sort of musty smell, that disuse, nature sort of reclaiming the space a little bit. You can hear some animals kind of scurrying about as the door opens. Rats, perhaps.
She doesn't light a candle. Candles are for her mother. She was human. She has, from her father's side, vision that allows her to see in the dark. She steps on creaky floorboards into the very small hovel that they lived in. Nearly one room, maybe a door on the other side. There's a couch that is been eaten into by rats. Two twin beds that have been pushed together into one, and a quilt on it. It is a small place. On the bedside table is a picture frame that is face down next to a vase of deeply decayed flowers. I think she would step on over to it and pick it up and turn it over to look at it and see a sketch drawing of her and her mother one time that they had gone out. And Philiomena decided to treat her to a little bit of shopping. There was someone doing street sketches on a corner that they had gotten one on. And it's of them smiling. So happy.
Yeah, your mother looks so young and vibrant and healthy at that time in her life, for sure.
She puts it back down. She'll get on her knees, go under the bed to a loose floorboard, pick it up, and inside is a little chest that she takes out. It is a fine chest, small but pretty wood that even throughout the time that she hasn't been here, while there is some water damage on it, you can still tell that it was a fine piece of work. And she'll open it. Inside is a scant bit of coin. And a silk scarf. And as she looks at that silk scarf, she just takes the whole crate and mashes it against the wall. The coins fly everywhere. And she'll get up, grab the scarf, and just leave.
As you get up, you sense it before you see it, but you sense and then shortly thereafter see the glow of light from behind you. And as you turn, after having smashed the piece and you turn towards the light, you see this diminutive figure just sort of silhouetted in the doorway, holding a small lantern that gives off a little glow. It doesn't illuminate the whole space. There's still darkness in the corners of the room, and it does give you a better sense of the disrepair as you look around. There's broken furniture, and it looks like animals have been living in here and such. But there's this diminutive little individual standing there with a lantern, and they speak. Hello, who's there? Who's
Hi,
there?
sir. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to disturb you. I've just seen that this house hasn't been entered in a while. I was hoping to maybe help clean some things up.
This is private property, dear.
Yes.
Although the individuals that own this house have not been here in some time. Do you know the family, the woman that lived here and her daughter?
I do. I was friends with the daughter when she was younger.
Oh yes, she's been gone for quite some time. Her mother, Diatha, having passed unfortunately from the sickness.
Yes.
Not many were spared in this neighborhood from that foul time. Is there something that I can help you with? I'm sorry, my name is Tiana. I just live next door, and I sort of keep an eye on the place, although I'm not much capable of mending and repairs and such, which is evidenced by my own place being, slightly better than it looks like in here, but not much.
That is really sweet of you, Tiana. I'm Bonnie, Miss Hart.
Good to meet you, dear. And you recognize this woman. You know who this is. You've seen this individual on many occasions. They've lived there probably as long as your family had this place. Maybe even well before you were born, before your father passed away. It's good, hard-working folk they were. I do wish very badly to see the daughter again someday. She was such a sweet and helpful child, very, very nice, with the other kids in the neighborhood, through very difficult times. Her mother having grown ill, as you know, she took care of her mother for quite some time. Just a good child.
Yeah, I hope she returns back too. I heard that she's doing real well across the waters, though. You know, after her mother died, she
across the waters, you say?
Yeah, didn't have a reason to stay, so she went to go make a name for herself elsewhere. You know, travel and see the world a little bit.
Oh,
I just wanted to check up on the place, see if...
Yes, at one point in my own life, I sought to see the world, but I never got out of Crockport. Well, there's still time. I think the world's
a better place with you in it.
Oh, that's sweet of you to say. You have a familiar essence to you. I appreciate that. Please don't watch your step. There are nails, exposed nails, and there's some mice that have been living in here. And just be careful.
How about I help you get back to your place?
Oh, thank you. Yes, it's right there.
Get up, and as I get up, grab the scarf and put it in my bag, and kind of extend my arm to help take her back to her home.
Thank you, dear. Oh,
of course.
Very kind. That's right over here.
Looking after this place.
Well, I wish I could do more.
I think you do plenty. Hey, I recently came into some money. I was actually hoping that maybe, I don't know, someone would be here, but since no one is, would you mind using it to maybe help spruce up this area a bit more? To pay some other people to do it?
Oh, like a fixer-upper situation?
Yeah, just... You're home as well. You're very sweet to be looking after this place for so long. And,
it's very generous of you, child.
Well, you're a very generous person.
I will not, let me say this. I will gladly take care of this place. I'll hire some contractors. We'll get we'll get a new roof. Well, we'll just knock the thing down. No, we'll try to preserve as best we
Rebuild it.
can the cherished features of this old, wonderful hovel at one time, I suppose. Yes, I could. I would be honored
Maybe
to
they
do
can get
this.
some new tenants in there.
A home needs to be lived in, they say.
Exactly.
Otherwise, it's not a home.
From what I know about this economy, how much gold would that take?
I would say 10 gold and the place would be probably well taken care of. Like, you could renovate this. I mean, it's small, right? It's not an estate by any sense. You need new fence, new walls. We got to get Chip and Jojo in here to do a fixer-upper. But yeah.
I'm gonna give her. If I give her 100 gold, do I think that that'll put some sort of thing on her back if I try to do it like discreetly?
No, you can.
Okay.
You could. Yeah. What do you want to try to do?
After I get her to her door.
Okay. Yeah.
And she's like opened it and is about to go inside. I'll take her hand. Mine's shaking, but I will give her a pouch of 100 gold, close her hand around it, and say, "This is for you and the estates. Use it sparingly. I hope it lasts you a while. Don't let other people know, if you can."
Her eyes are just huge right now. She just feels the weight. She might be old, but she knows the weight of coin.
Get yourself some helpers, too.
Who are you?
You can pay some people off for a while. Just an old friend. Wanted to do right by some people that I haven't seen in a while.
Indeed, you are an old friend. Thank you, dear.
Thank you, miss. I should get going. It's rather late, actually. I should get back to my own residence. Have a good night.
Be careful out there. These streets have gotten quite dangerous as of late.
Of course, always. And I'll kind of step off the stairs and wave her goodnight. And I'll briefly go back inside and grab the photo. I won't look at it, but I do put it in my bag.
Okay. Yeah, as you walk away, she closes the door and you can hear sort of a slide bolt. And then you take maybe one last look as you're walking to the hovel, and you can kind of see her kind of just looking out the window with the lantern, and then she kind of turns away and the light kind of dims inside.
And I will then head to what was it, Shroudfield?
Oh, you're gonna go to the pauper cemetery.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. It's not far from this part of Crockport by any stretch of the imagination. It is literally a pauper cemetery. So this would be like an area, not like a proper, cemetery with big tombstones and sort of the ornateness of sending people on to some plane beyond the material plane. This is more of like people who didn't have anyone to claim their bodies, people who couldn't afford a proper burial, people that were found dead on the shores of the lake, that sort of thing that nobody could identify. Those are the types of people that would have been buried in this particular pauper cemetery, which the locals kind of know as the shroud field. It's neglected. It's overgrown. It's kind of a nasty place, but it's what you get. You walk up to the place and you can see that there's this crumbling iron gate. At one point, it might have been, relatively ornate, but there's like a little weathered stone arch, and there's an inscription in the common tongue that says, "To dust we return."
As I'm going, I will pick a couple of flowers that might be in some bushes along the way, just like 3. Enter the creaky gate, and as I do, once again, that paper being lit on fire and it kind of crumbling away, the visage of Bonnie Hart fades back to Philiomena. And she'll lower her hood and go to where a plot of small bundle of dead flowers are laid on top of, and she'll pick those up and replace them. Clear away any weeds or vines that have managed to find a place there.
So let me ask you a question. You know, a lot of these resting places are not marked. Some of them are marked with just a simple stone with a number carved into it. Some of them have a name on it. What would your mother's marker look like, or would there be a marker? You said there's flowers, so you know where she's been laid to rest, but is there anything that would sort of show that to other people who might come to pay their respects as well, kind of thing?
With the little money that Philomena had at the time, and even if she had to work for it to get it after, she would have gotten a little slab that says Diatha, generous to all, under it, and made sure that it was placed there. She made sure it wasn't the most beautiful thing, that it would get stolen by someone there, but it is there. And she would place the flowers under it.
Yeah, you find it because you know where it is. It's kind of grown over. You pull back some of the dried vines and stuff, and clear it off a little bit to make it more legible.
Hey, Mama. I'm sure you know. I'm sure you're looking after me even now. After everything you've been through. Your little girl's done some things. She took you away from me. I watched you slowly rot in that bed, and there was nothing that I could do.
You have tears rolling down your cheeks, and you hear a voice. What you say is true, my dear. But there is something you can still do yet.
I will. She's not gonna get away with this. Not doing this to me. Not doing this to you. To anybody else. Because she'll just keep using people. Over and over again, because that's what people like her do.
Yes. But now it's your turn. Now it's your time. Find the mage and turn their power against her.
Rain? Are you talking about Magnus Crane? Is he... He'll help me?
I am here with you every step of the way.
Thank you. I don't know what I would have done without you. I think she wipes her hands over her face, runs them through her hair, tries to straighten herself back up. Everything will be all right, Mom. The house is going to look real nice soon. Maybe I'll get you relocated too. You deserve a better place to rest. All of these people do, but you, most of all. Maybe don't look for a little bit, okay? I don't know what I'll have to do to get to him, but I want you to still be proud of me when I come out of this. And I think she'll leave. And cast disguise self as she passes through the doors again. Any trace of a red nose and red eyes disappearing as Bonnie Hart appears again. That short, dark cropped hair, freckles across the face. And she'll head to the Rusty Anchor.
Okay. The four of you converge at the Rusty Anchor at the time agreed upon. And as we find ourselves at the anchor, perhaps imbibing drinks and waiting upon the next leg of this adventure, we are going to take a quick break. We'll be gone for just a couple of short minutes. We're going to pull ourselves together over here, and then we will dive back into this. So thank you all for sticking around. We really appreciate you. Great role play from the table here, just absolutely fantastic. Really appreciate it. And thanks to everybody who's hanging out in the chat with us. We'll be back in just a couple minutes, everybody. See you shortly. We're back with the Outlaws of Greyhawk, and each of them has gone off to take care of the business that they intended to take care of as they returned from a successful mission where they recovered, or stole, I should say, some cargo from a stagecoach that was under the protection of the Crockport Merchant Guild. They stole this cargo on behalf of the Wretched Steel gang, which is in direct conflict with this Merchants Guild for reasons that we don't fully know. Nevertheless, it has placed a bit of a mark on the backs of our outlaws here. So as we return to the game, we find the group in meeting up back in the Rusty Anchor, which is a tavern in the docks district of Crockport, a spot that was suggested to them by Grukka. It's chances are some of you have been here before. It's the kind of place that you can go and feel somewhat assured that that nobody's really going to pay a whole lot of attention to you, which might be a good thing right now based on some of the stuff that recently happened. It's run by a woman, a female half-elf named Grelda. She's as tough as nails, no nonsense. She's got a scar across her cheek, a quick temper, silver streaks in her black hair. You can tell, or you've heard, that she had a pretty illustrious career as an adventurer in the region and settled down in Crockport. It seems like she is prospering despite, or maybe because of, the war machine that is building here in Crockport. As you can imagine, coin is flowing in preparation for whatever is yet to come as we're on the northern extent. And actually, I could bring up a map. Let me bring up Anna B. Meyer's map for folks. We haven't.
Bring up the map.
Yeah, we haven't shown that yet. Grelda Bracklin. Grelda Bracklin.
That's a great name.
And here is the map, Anna B. Meyer's map here. So we are in the port city of Crockport here. If you can see my little cursor rolling around. And we had some conversations about Gull Keep, which is here on this sort of peninsula, if you will, on White Estelle Lake. So here's the lake. Of course, you have the lands of Ayuz to the north, the lands of the Horn Society, to the east. the Vespi to the west, and this nation of Furiandi here smack dab in the middle of what's yet to come. So as we move back into the session here, you find yourselves at the Rusty Anchor. Grelda is behind the bar, slinging ales, pouring fancy glasses and mugs of wine. The place is very busy. Again, similar to the Wharf Rat, a lot of people coming out of the ironclad shipworks to take food and to take drink and maybe other things that they might be seeking after a hard day at work. So one by one, each of you return. Some of you in disguise, some of you trying to be incognito, perhaps. But you find yourselves finally catching each other's attention, and the four of you now seated at a table with ales in front of you.
So
Sorry.
no. So, the Mel has her, her hood up, her face covering on. Just trying to blend in, I guess, with the crowd. Not really drinking, not really eating. But she lets out a sigh, like a heavy sigh. She goes, "I'm ready to get the fuck out of here." I don't know about the rest of you, but
Philomena tosses back some of her wine. Me too. Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, Grukka's sitting there, probably maybe in between them, or actually he's gonna be next to Portis, wherever Portis happens to be. And Grukka's you never seen him like this. If a hobgoblin can sweat, he's sweating. And his right hand is tapping on the table, and the sound is attracting anyone's attention. Yours at least not loudly, but if anyone looks, he's got a ring on his finger now. And he's just sitting there's like, Grukka did bad thing. Grukka's got to get out of here. I'll go anywhere you guys go.
What did Grukka do? I can't. You know what? I can guess what Grukka did. I don't need to ask questions. I don't even know.
Remember you asking me about the?
Yeah.
Remember asking me about the first time I killed somebody? Yes, I went back to that place, and it happened again, and I got to get out of here.
Oh.
By the way, somebody recognized me too.
oh, that's wonderful. So
Yes.
now you're a walking target. Great.
I just pull my hood even farther over my face, and I just kind of like sit back and Grukka, sorry.
Well, what say you,
Okay.
Portis?
I'm Yolanda. And you see a middle-aged woman who is dressed in heavy travel gear, but is also probably some sort of entertainer or perhaps a fortune teller. Lots of rings on her fingers, and she's got platinum wavy hair that's about shoulder length, and but has a hood as part of her travel gear. She says, well, you've all certainly put yourselves into an interesting position. And I lean forward and I say, does anyone know if the harrower is a Wretched Steel craft? I think we need to get aboard it as soon as possible, if possible.
Can we make some sort of check to see if we
Yeah, if you guys want to, you can make history checks if you want to attempt to know anything about.
Why did I offer up history? I don't have a great number in that.
I
Well,
got
it's
an
the one that
18.
makes the most sense. An 18. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
5.
7.
Okay. Anything from Grukka? Are you gonna try it, Grukka, or no?
Grukka rolled a 12.
Okay. So,
Grukka's trying to remember deliveries.
yeah, Mel, you're the only one that the harrower rings a bell. A couple of things. You know or believe that it is captained by a half-elven man named Elias Dorn. There are a trio of ships. All of them sail beneath the banner that bears a long-necked and long-legged bird. There's the Harrower, there is the Gloaming Tide, and there's the Reaper's Scythe. And they are known as merchant vessels of Magnus Crane.
So I relayed that to the party. Yeah.
Wait,
Uh,
so we got paid to steal the stuff that he was delivering to someone else and return his stuff back to him?
I thought that, but I think we stole from the governors.
I mean, we stole from the Merchant Guild. I imagine that he was giving it to them to sell. Like they had done a transaction, and now he's going to be getting the goods back.
Or they were selling it to him.
But why would they be selling it to him if it has the crest of his people on it? Wouldn't it then have the crest of the governess on it instead, or the Merchants Guild, or whatever the fuck?
Yes.
Well, Philomena, you would know that the Merchants Guild rarely owns the cargo that they're moving. So they are strictly a conduit of goods and services. They take a cut. I mean, they charge for the transport. It's not very often that they're doing armed mercenary work. So that was the thing that keyed you into what was happening with this particular transport, not really knowing that it was, and you didn't really know it was Magnus Crane's stuff until you found out at the actual stagecoach heist. But nevertheless, it does seem strange that they would be, it doesn't seem to fit together in the way that you know that this operation does business.
I think you guys see her smile. Yeah, I think we should get on that boat.
if it's connected to Magnus Crane, that's where I'm going. I don't care what anybody else is doing.
It's leaving early. I don't know if we should wait.
I think that we should go talk to someone.
No, I think we should just get on the boat.
Without them knowing, right?
Well, we have to get onto the boat if we want to go with the boat.
Well, here's the thing. Did we see how big this boat was?
It's a large, it's a 3-masted merchant vessel. Yep.
We definitely could sneak in, but if we're found, we're dead. Unless we want to take on an entire ship. I don't know. I'm always down for the route of diplomacy if I can. I can tend to be a rather persuasive speaker. I can state that we're rather invested in making sure that this cargo gets where it needs to be.
I think it would be reasonable to get the three of us. I'm concerned now about... Grukka, by the way, put that fucking ring in your pocket. Please.
Why?
He actually looks at it and doesn't even realize he had it on his finger. He has that look of like, where'd that come from? And he just kind of like sheepishly takes it off his finger and just kind of drops it into his pocket.
I should like to ask you about that at another time. Anyway, my point stands that this one is a bit of a wild card now for us getting out of here safely and quickly.
Yeah. I think that the quicker we move, the better. The longer time we have to prepare for if we can't get on it in diplomatic means.
We don't have much time, but we have a long wait before you'll be able to speak to anyone.
We don't know who's on that ship right now and who isn't. I mean, I imagine a ship that big, they probably sleep there. Why would they want to get... I mean, I guess if they've been on the water for a while. I think swinging by there wouldn't hurt.
I'm worried about the hour.
There's going to be someone awake.
You know.
Okay, look. To help matters, I can just sneak on there and, look around before. I'm good at that.
It's true.
But we do know that there are people.
I could distract while you look.
I think we should just try to sneak on, like maybe in a few hours before daybreak. Earlier than they would be getting up. It's probably the only time there's probably going to be the fewest eyes open.
Let me propose this. We head that direction now. Philomena, you approach independently. and see if you can barter transport for us. If that fails, we can sneak aboard just the same as if we would without asking first.
Money talks, we could always buy passage. But enough
That's
gold
what I
to
was
keep the
thinking
lid
too.
sealed.
As you say that, and as you're having this conversation, the server comes round to your table, and she's sort of a heavy-set dwarvish woman, and she comes up. She's got an apron. It's just soaked. She smells like beer. Her hair's all frazzled and out of sorts. And she says, "Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt you all, but if you're looking for another beverage, I could get you one right now. Otherwise, we've been needing this table." And she looks down at you and says, "Fortune teller, there's
Yes.
there's somebody over there that wants to speak with yous."
Oh, thank you so much. Excuse me.
Drinks.
Yeah, we were just about to go. Sorry for staying here so long.
Yeah, Grukka's just gonna put his hand out with like 10 gold in it, and he's gonna say a bottle of good whiskey to go.
Can
Mel
do.
says nothing. Mel says nothing. She just stands up and just walks out.
As this is all happening, you're sort of the table's breaking up. She takes your gold and heads off and grabs you can see her behind the bar, like looking through the bottles, and she grabs one and she's like looking at it. And she's like, eh. And Portis, Yelena, is that correct? Yelena? Is that your
Yolanda.
Yolanda. All right, so Yolanda, you look over in the direction of where this dwarven server had gestured, and you see Carver. And I actually have some artwork for Carver up on the screen right now if you're interested.
Oh my gosh!
But Carver is standing over in the corner, and he's kind of like, he looks kind of uncomfortable, and he sees and he kind of gives you sort of a labored grin, like, nice.
I'll sashay up.
Yep. He
You
says,
wish your fortune read today, darling.
"I think the die's been cast already, my good friend." He looks like he is troubled, greatly troubled. He says, it wasn't me, I promise you that, Portis. It wasn't me. It's by your own doing. I'm sorry, mate, but you weren't supposed to look at that scroll.
Says that I did.
There's nothing I can do for you now. Good luck. And he turns and he walks out of the tavern, of the Rusty Anchor, into the darkness.
I'm gonna go back behind the bar and through the kitchen
Okay.
and go out the back.
Okay. You walk through the kitchen, people are like, "Hey, what is this? This is off limits. You."
Good fortune to let the lady pass, thank you.
Portis disappears, going out the back door. The woman comes back, the dwarven woman comes back, Grukka, and hands you a bottle of whiskey. "All right, there you go. Don't drink it all in one place."
I don't intend to. And I give her another gold piece. Thank you. I was never here. And I just walk out the door and put my cowl over it. I actually use my sword. I look like I'm an old man, or I try to look like someone having a hard time walking.
All right, so you walk out the front door. Portis has gone out the side door. What about Philomena? Are you following Grukka out, or what are you doing? You just saw Carver have a conversation. You didn't hear it, and Carver walked out the door, and Portis kind of disappeared into the crowd.
Yeah, I think she'd follow Grukka, but like be looking over her shoulder to see where Portis went as she walks. When we get out, can I see where Carver goes
Give
off to, or is he already
me a
gone by the
quick
time?
perception check on Portis first.
Okay. Perception check on Portis. 9.
Yeah, you're not sure where he went. He just kind of disappeared into the crowd. So you're gonna follow Grukka.
He'll find us. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
And
follow Grukka out.
how about Mel?
About like a foot between us.
Sure. What about Mel?
So,
Well,
Mel had already walked out by then, by the whole time that was happening, so could she... Well, she doesn't know, so she's just outside waiting, crowd watching, waiting for everybody else to come and follow after her.
All right, yeah, as you're standing there sort of out in front of this in the dark night, you can just see like little specks of stars in the sky. It's a cool night with the cold air coming off the lake. Hey, thanks for the raid, Phoenixy Wacky and friends. Great to see you.
Oh my gosh,
Very
that's so
excited
nice.
to see my friends here from the Wackyverse. Phoenixy Wacky.
Hi.
Great to see you. We're going to be diving into some fun fundraising with Phoenix and Folk and Myth in a couple of weeks. So stay tuned for some more information on that. Great to see you, friends. If you're not following Phoenix, please do. They're a great storyteller and have a lot of fun players in their quiver of friends. So, all right. So nevertheless, Mel, you are out in front of the rusty anchor and you are waiting for your companions. And that's when you hear the door open, you turn around and you see Carver, who you'd met just once before at the docks earlier that evening, sort of walking out into the night, and he says, "Gods be damned," and he pulls his cloak tight and he sort of walks off. You see then Grukka kind of coming out of the door with his cloak pulled tight, Philiomena following, and that's when you hear a booming voice from the darkness in the other direction, and you turn and you see this massive orcish individual with a broken tusk. He's wearing sort of this dandy sort of top coat, and he's well dressed, and he has in his hand a massive axe in his hand, and he shouts towards you think, as your friends exit from the front door of this building, and he says, "There he is right there, the whelp. Come to pay your dues, have ya, boy?" And he slings the axe up in his hand, and you know right away, Grukka, that this is Zakar Cragtooth, as he has come on good information that you have been involved in what was happening with this, whatever this heist was. The warning having been given to Portis, who slipped out the back door to go to God knows where. I would like each of you to please roll initiative, because we're going to get into some fucking combat.
No! Oh my god.
This is about to get real.
Initiative? Okay.
Yep, and then I will ask you in a minute what your initiative rolls are, so just hold on 1 second as I get things ready. I've got a map that I'm going to bring up for you guys to take a peek at.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, we have to get. You didn't put the roll 20.
Cracktooth is so dead.
Here it is in the Zoom chat.
I hope he doesn't have friends.
Oh yay.
All right, let's see here.
That's why you didn't put the owlbear. You were psyching us out, making us think there weren't going to be any maps. To just drop it on us last second.
Yep.
Hey, where's the music, man? I don't have any music.
I hear the music.
Everybody hears music but you. Maybe because your ears are filled with murder.
I loaded.
Rage.
All right, so you guys have exited outside. We've got Grukka. We've got
This map is
Philomena.
beautiful. Oh my gosh.
We got Mel has been hanging
I
out.
accidentally moved someone.
So Portis, you're right here. Where do you want to be located? I would say, there's probably a side door. There's no real kitchen here. Yeah, out there would be good. Yeah, that's out by the outhouse.
Yeah.
No, we'll say that this little spot here is like this is an exit, a side exit right here, off to the side here. So let me bring up the map for people who are hanging out with us
They
here.
haven't seen it yet.
No.
Guys, it's beautiful.
It is quite a map, yeah. There's a lot going on here. All right, so you find yourself standing there, and coming down the street here is Zakar. And actually, let me do this. I also did some Zakar art. I'll put that up on the screen there for a minute so people can get a sign of that. He is accompanied by some companions. All right. Let me roll some initiative as well. Okay. Does anybody have 25 to 20?
20.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, Mel,
Yeah, they're
20.
so dead.
15 to 20. Uh, 10 to 15.
12.
12 for
Oh no.
Philomena. It's 5 to 10.
Grukka got an 8.
Okay. 8 for Grukka. That's not terrible.
Oh, Portis.
And what'd you get, Portis?
4.
4 for
But I'm
Portis.
around the side, you know.
But like,
Yeah,
I
and
feel
Portis doesn't really
He's
know
not
exactly what's going on. Like the stuff that's happening out in front here, you know, probably isn't exactly clear to what, but he has some idea. Carver looked very, very concerned when he left.
That's why I went right out the side door. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Mel, you're standing there sort of in the shadows a little bit, but within view of what's happening here as this massive orc is walking down the street towards you with this massive axe in his hand, and he's shouting at Grukka.
So I see that they both have beef with each other. So I'm just going to leave him to Grukka, and I'm going to sneak attack the thug behind him.
Okay. So you're gonna try to go after this guy here.
Yep.
Okay, so you can certainly do that. Sneak attack may not apply unless you can. You're visible right now, so you don't have a companion within 5 feet of that individual. You're not attacking with surprise. That doesn't mean you can't attack. You just won't get the benefit of a sneak attack.
Okay, then I'll just go after him with my short sword then, straight for him.
Okay, you're gonna still go after thug number 1.
Thug
as
number
he is.
1.
Okay, so
He's
you're gonna need to move your token to get up next to him. So and just be aware that if you move out of an individual's range of melee attack, they can take an attack of opportunity at you.
Gotcha. Okay. That is a 17.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. As you walk by Zakar, he says, "Where do you think you're going, bitch?" And he just swings this axe, and he is going to make an attack at you. Let's see. Yeah, he is.
You caught the wrong one, bitch.
This guy's bad. Well, we'll see how he does. That is going to be a dirty 20 to hit you, Mel.
Oh, yeah, that hits.
Right. He swings this great axe and does 12 points of damage.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Oh my god.
You take the hit and kind of lunge forward and are able to still make your attack against thug number 1. You rolled what, a 16?
17.
17. Okay, a 17 is definitely going to hit.
Okay. That is 7 points of damage.
7 points. Okay.
So once per turn, well, that was my sneak attack. Never mind.
That was just your regular attack.
That was your regular attack.
Well, no, I'm sorry. I'm reading sneak attack because it says once per turn I could deal an extra 2d6 if I hit with a finesse weapon, but on a sneak attack.
That's when you're using your sneak attack. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. Is there anything else that you have? Do you have a bonus action? You are a rogue.
My bonus action is going to disengage.
Okay, smart.
And then I'm going to take, after that, I'll take my next turn to use a healing potion.
Okay. All right, so you can use your bonus action to disengage. Where do you want to move? You still have 5, 10, 15, 20. You have 10 feet of movement left. So yeah, you can get to like right there to the corner.
There? That's fine.
Yep. Okay. All right. And he cannot take an attack at you because you disengaged. Okay, that sounds good. Oh shit, that brings us to Zakar. Zakar is going to just, like, he doesn't even notice that he's got blood on his axe, and he is going to make his way straight for Grukka. And he is going to, he's got this berserk look in his eye. He says, "You've done it twice now under my watch. killed 2 innocent men that I was protecting. Make me look bad. You know what I do to people who make me look bad. And he's gonna make a attack. Yeah. I just rolled a natural 20, Grukka.
Oh,
I forgot to tell you guys, this was only a 4-episode arc, not a 5-episode arc.
Oh, good to know. Good to know. Go, 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 go.
That's
been full
only
the whole
going to be,
time.
that's only 7 points of slashing damage. I didn't roll very good on the damage dice.
Oh my god.
So 7 points of slashing. And that is his turn. It is Philomena's turn.
I think she's so disheveled about the situation. She's gonna walk kind of here and like hold out her hands and say, whoa, 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 we can, what is happening? And as she holds out her hands, there is a flash from under her cloak and a spin of flame rolls down both of her arms and shoots out in a cone at the 2 individuals in front of her. And I am casting, I'm so sorry, I should have looked at this. Burning Hands.
Okay. So that's a 15-foot
so-
cone.
15-foot cone.
So I have this cool little thing here. 15-foot cone from your
Could I
location.
aim at, Thug 2 and Thug 4 by chance? I can take a step up if I need to.
Yeah, if you take a step up, you certainly can, yeah.
Okay. So they need to make dexterity saves.
Okay.
DC is 14.
Thug 2 is going to fail, and
Ooh.
Thug 4 is going to fail as well.
Oh no. Okay. They
Nice shot.
each take 14 fire damage.
Oh,
And
okay.
as she does that, she just screams.
You just unleash this burst of fiery energy and just illuminates this alleyway between these buildings. And you can see as these 2, this orc and this human thug, as they light on fire, some of their clothes catching fire, their hair burning. You can see in the background this just genteel marketplace, just with the wind just kind of blowing in the flaps of the tents. Some kids
For my
over in the
races.
darkness run into the darkness and disappear. They're like, "Holy shit!" and they disappear into the darkness.
Her mind flashes to the moment of seeing the broken caravan lit aflame as these 2 people are burning in front of her, and she like just instinctively takes a step back and like presses her back against the wall and is visibly shaken.
Okay, all right. That brings us to we'll call them the henchmen. Let's see here. Well, let's go number by number. So number 1 here, having taken a hit from Mel, is going to step forward and take a swing with his, he has a mace. Oops, just dropped that die. All right, mace. That is a 18 to hit, Mel. 4 bludgeoning damage as he cracks you right in the rib cage. As you're pulling out a potion and popping the cork, he smashes it into you, but you're able to hold on to the potion without spilling it. So that was number 1. Number 2 is on fire. Let's see. He maintains his cool, so to speak, and he is going to step up and take a swing at you, Philomena. With a short
I'm
sword.
sorry, I didn't.
That is going to be a 16 to hit.
That just hits.
That's going to be 4 points of slashing damage.
The first damage I've ever taken.
Thug 3 is going to step forward and make an attack with a mace at Grukka. Oh my god, this is fucking karma, Jeff. I just rolled a natural 20 again.
You're kidding!
That's going to be 9 points of damage.
9, okay.
And then let's see, that's number 4, who is got his ass burned hard by Philomena, is going to run.
Ooh.
He runs away and disappears. He's not looking to die.
Smart.
Yeah. So he runs off. And that's when, let's see, you hear the familiar whoosh of arrows being loosed from bows from unseen positions. One of them towards Grukka. Shouldn't have read that scroll. Misses. And a second archer is shooting from another position. Grukka, you feel the breeze of this arrow, and then it just hits the stones at your feet and breaks. The second shot, same thing. It flies right across in between, just barely missing you, Grukka. Nobody seems to take any notice of Portis at this point yet. But the arrow comes flying up past you and hits the door jamb by the entrance to this tavern. And then I will say this, the people inside the tavern kind of like come out and look to see what all the hullabaloo is, and then they back off and shut the door and lock it shut to bar any sort of escape from that direction. Okay, that brings us to Grukka, finally. A lot of NPCs here.
Yeah, Grukka's right there. He's squaring off with Zakar.
Yeah.
Mr. Cragtooth, the big bully. And he's just gonna, he was in that position of like trying to pretend like he's almost like an old man leaning on a staff or a crutch, and he's just gonna throw off his cloak, and as he's literally dragging, you know, the wrapping on the sword just comes right off, and he's just gonna come up with an upswing right at Zakar with his greatsword, and he's gonna say, "Well, you should have hit me much harder than that," and he's gonna swing right at him.
Nice.
Come on. Roll +6. That's a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that definitely hits. Nice.
Okay. 2d6 + 4. That's 4.
He's a big guy, not too hard to hit.
4 + 6 is 10, plus another 4 is 14 points of damage from the greatsword.
Nice. Okay. Big hit.
He's got a bonus action, and he's going to where is it? Bonus action. He's going to just kind of like stand up even taller and grab the sword. He's going to use his second wind. He's going to use one of his dice, and he's going to gain an extra 1d10 + 4 hit points.
Okay.
Smart.
Very smart.
7 + 4. He gains 11 hit points back.
Okay. And we'll go to Portis next.
All right. So I was already going to be rejoining my companions. I will move here past the train over to the corner and look around and see that there's a bit of a scuffle in the street.
Yep.
And I'll see the large figure there standing imposingly, menacingly in front of Grukka. And I will cast Sacred Flame upon him.
Ooh, okay.
So he must make a dexterity save.
All right. 19.
Oh, well, forget it. He jumps out of the way as this flame whirlwind erupts around him. And then I go and I duck back around behind him.
I love it. All right, cool. Anything else from Portis?
Hell no.
Good man.
Oh man, yeah. Okay, so that was Portis' turn. We're back at the top of the order. Mel, you are kind of squaring off with this thug over here. What do you want to do?
You're muted. I'm going to use my potion of healing to heal myself.
Okay, that's a bonus action. It's a bonus action to drink your own potion, so go ahead and do that. 2d4 + 2.
Okay. I have 2d4 + 4. Oh, it's a potion of greater healing.
Oh, okay.
That's what I
Got
have.
it.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Let's see. That's 12. I get 16 points back.
Holy moly.
44 + 4. Nice. All right. That's big.
That's huge.
I am back.
You still have your action?
That was a bonus action.
So,
Yep. So you have your action still.
am going to go back in with my short sword. Go back up and engage and hit him with my short sword again.
Okay.
I don't know if an 11 hits.
If it meets, it beats. 11 hits.
Oh, yeah! And he takes 8 points of damage.
Okay. All right. Very cool. You've used your bonus action and your action. You want to move or you want to stay put?
I'm staying put.
All right. Very cool. That brings us to Zakar, and he is going to make another swing at Grukka. And he says to you, "The killing's got to end, boy. You've already done enough damage in this place. It's my job to take you down and put you down like the dog you are."
Woof.
19 to hit you.
Yeah, if it's 3 above my armor class, I think I hit, yeah.
14 slashing damage.
14.
Yep.
My God.
That brings us to Philomena. You just watched as Grukka took another massive hit from this great axe. This orc just towering over him.
She was just hit, I imagine, kind of across the shoulder, and as she holds her hand there and looks down at it, sees her own blood on her hand, sees the cut made to her cloak. The disguise of Bonnie Hart crumbles away, and with flames in her eyes, Philomena looks up and say, "You don't want to do this." And she's gonna reach behind her back and take her sickle and try to hit the guy in front of her.
All right. Nice. Thug 2, give us an attack roll.
Yeah. Okay,
Let's do it.
Okay. Ooh, it fell off. Non-natural 20.
That hits.
1.
Yep. Non-natural
I can
21.
Count. I can count.
That hits.
It's not a lot of damage.
Every little bit helps, though.
It is 3, though.
Okay. Does not knock him down, but he grimaces from the pain of the sickle. What a cool weapon, by the way.
And after she kind of slashes it across, she says, "Leave!"
And he's just going to respond saying, "We came for the Hobgoblin. Why are you mixed up in this?" All right, that brings us to them. Let's see. Thug 1 is going to make an attack on Mel. Should have given these guys proper names. 18 to hit, Mel.
Yeah, that hits.
That is 4 points of bludgeoning as he hits you with another mace.
Right.
Taking 4 points of damage. Let's see. Number 2 is going to trade blows with Philomena. Try to, anyways. Yeah, my dice are hot right now. That is a 18.
That definitely hits.
It's 4 slashing damage as he hits you again with his sword. Number 3 is going to attack Grukka as well. That is a 16, Grukka.
Grukka hates saying if it meets, it beats.
Oh, he does.
No.
Damn it, Grukka. That is going to be
Come on.
8 slashing damage.
Come on, Grukka.
Portis,
Yeah.
you
My
hear the twang of an arrow as as an arrow comes in your direction. Let's see what happens here. Dirty 20.
Ah, yeah.
Who ordered the TPK?
4 piercing damage as you take an arrow. Give me a perception check real quick.
Please let me see him. 17.
Nice.
Yeah, you see that there is an archer hiding sort of behind this rock wall off to the west of this alley towards the docks. And then let's see, that is, we'll call that their turn. And that brings us to Grukka.
Grukka's going to again for with his bonus action to use that first. He's going to use another superiority and do another second wind. He's just getting warmed up. What was that? D10 plus 4. Not that bad. I gained back 9 hit points, and then he's going to just smile at Zakar and says, "Well, if I die, at least I'm fighting you." And he's gonna swing at him. Come on, die. 16 total.
16 hits.
Okay. Come on, Grukka. It's 3. 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12. 13 points of damage.
Wow, nice. That's a big hit.
Those are
Very
good
big
hits.
hit. I gotta put a link to tabletop audio because this combat music fucking slaps.
It's so good.
Yeah. All right. Anything else from Grukka?
Grukka's gonna stand his ground, and he's gonna kind of just glance quickly at Thug 3 and say, "You better run, because when I'm done with him, I'm gonna eat you alive."
All right, Portis.
All right. Well, seeing that figure over there, I'm going to drop the hammers into my hands and run and
Oh
leap
shit!
down onto this guy like,
Ah!
Let's go for this.
right, here comes the first strike. I can remember how to do it. Here we go. 12.
Misses. Your hammer comes down and smashes into the rock wall, and shards of rock go flying as this individual's like backpedaling between the wall and the dock. There's like a little bit of a kind of a hole in the ground there with debris scattered. You know how it is on the wharfs. There's all kinds of debris.
I will use my backhand on my other hand, my offhand, and strike again. No.
No.
Miss.
Okay.
11,
Just
but actually 9.
they managed to dodge out of the way of your second swing as well. Anything else from Portis?
No. That's all I
Okay.
have.
We'll go back to the top. Mel, you gotta take this guy out.
I know. I am going to use my 2-weapon fighting, so I get to use a short sword and then a dagger.
Okay.
Nice.
So let's see, short sword. 13 on the short sword.
13 hits.
Okay. And that's 5 points of damage.
Okay.
Nice.
And then let's see, dagger. A 19 with my dagger.
Also hits.
And then D4. That is 2 points of damage.
Okay. He seems to not like what you're doing, but he's still up.
Oh well. You
Yeah,
can
he's
just tell over
not
it.
happy with you. All right, that brings us back to Zakar, who just laughs in Grukka's face and says, "You can lay down your weapon now, boy, and we'll just tear your limbs off one by one, nice and slow like, so you can really feel the pain that you've inflicted upon your loved ones." And then he's going to swing the axe and come down on you. By the way, Philomena, you're privy to this exchange back and forth between these two individuals.
Yeah.
Big time.
Big time.
I don't know if this one's going to do it, though. Let's see. That is a 13.
Grukka ducks and backs away.
Yeah, he swings and misses you.
He feels the breeze from the blade at his face.
Hell yeah. All right, that brings us to Philomena.
She's gonna look this guy in the eyes and try to connect with him and say, "You want to die here? You want to leave your friends and your family to mourn for your loss here on these streets? Over this?" And can I try to intimidate him?
It will take your action, but yeah, you can totally try. Sure.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Because if it doesn't work, I have another thing I'm gonna do. That is a 17 intimidation. I think, hold up, let me look at something. Yeah, I'm gonna do this because I really want this to succeed. As she says that, the amulet flares and that same kind of light from her chest reaches her eyes and they kind of glow brighter, and I'm gonna add a d4 to that using my talisman.
Okay.
So that's, oh wow, 21.
Okay, yeah, you see a look of hesitation in his eye as you lay down the goods, so to speak. He's just, you can kind of see that his sword sort of drops to the side a little bit.
Go now, and I'm not gonna get you on your way out. And I think with that, I'm gonna step next to Grukka. I'm gonna leave his range of attack and go next to Grukka. And
He does not take an
think as
attack of
bonus
opportunity
action,
at you.
I'm gonna take a potion of healing.
Okay.
And I think I only have the little ones, so
Yep.
D4?
It is a 2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2.
Yep.
6. I'll
Okay.
take that.
Yeah. Very cool.
And
All
I'll
right.
just toss the bottle to the side.
That brings us to them. Let's zoom out a little bit here. Okay. We will start with thug number 1 going against Mel. Again with the mace. That's probably going to hit. That's a 21 to hit you, Mel.
Ah!
This guy is good.
Yeah,
Four
that hurts.
4 bludgeoning damage.
All right.
You're doing all right. Thug number 2 is going to take a few steps back.
To rethink his life.
Yeah, he kind of steps back, and then he is going to pull out a heavy crossbow. And he's going to take a shot at Mel. He is not going near Philiomena, though. Let's see. Heavy crossbow. Nope, that's going to miss. That's only a 5. He's like shaking. He's so intimidated. He's shaking, and he takes a shot, and it just goes up into the air and zings away, and then he runs and is going to disappear.
Howard, come and face death like a man.
Yeah, he got real scared. He got real scared. Okay, so that was him. Number 3 here is going to pivot around and take a swing at well, let me just see here. Would he do that? No. Grukka is who they came for. All right, he's going to take a shot at Grukka as well. Yeah, that's going to hit. That's going to be a 23 to hit Grukka.
Yeah.
4 slashing damage as he's just hacking away at you. All right, then over here, Portis, you've got yourself tied up with this individual who drops their longbow and pulls out a short sword and is going to swing at you with it. And miss with a 6 to hit. And then there is the sound of a bow string snap, and an arrow comes flying in. Let me just see who it's going to hit. I'll roll a d4. We'll see who they go after. We'll go Philiomena 1, Grukka 2, Portis 3, and Mel 4. 3. So Portis, another shot at you, and that's going to miss as well with an 8. All right, that is their turn. That brings us to Grukka.
He's just eyeballing. He's getting hit by thug 3. He's probably not even realizes he's getting hit, and he's just gonna pick up. He's got a sword in his hand, and he's just like, go down, and he's gonna 15 plus 6, 21 to hit.
Yep, that hits. Nice.
Okay, and that's again another 3. And a 6 for 9.
What's up, Moose? Welcome.
4. Another 13 points of damage to Zakar.
Wow. Okay. He noticed that
It's not
one.
the force behind these attacks.
Yeah, he noticed that one. Okay. Anything else?
Yeah. I'm just staying right there.
All right.
Actually, can I? It takes an action to drink a potion of healing, right?
It's a bonus action.
I didn't use a bonus action, so I'm actually going to just literally just reach right into my little pouch right there at my hip and just my clawed thumb is gonna flick off the cork, and I'm just gonna practically like almost eat the damn thing. He's just like just shoving it right down without taking his eyes off the Sakar.
Okay. Go ahead and roll 2d4 plus 2. Yep.
2d4 plus 2.
Yep. And we'll go to Portis.
That's 3. 5,
All right.
7,
Well, we're locked in it now, so I'm still using my hammers. First one. Oh, that was almost a natural 20. Instead, it's a 6.
Oh,
No.
Second one. How about a 16?
That will hit. 16
Yes.
will hit. Yeah, absolutely.
you go, girl.
For 5 points.
5 points of damage. Okay. All right. Anything else from Portis? That was your 2 attacks, yeah?
That's my action, bonus action, yeah.
All right, Mel, back at the top of the order.
I've got to take this guy down, so I'm gonna
Yeah, you
go
do.
with short sword and dagger for bonus action.
Okay.
That is a 17 to hit with my short sword.
That hits.
That's 5 points of damage.
Okay.
My dagger is... I got 9. I don't think that hits.
9 does not hit.
Yeah.
He is looking pretty rough as he's just kind of like staggering from the last hit. He's hoisting his mace up for another swing. Anything else from Mel?
Nope.
All right. All right, Zakar, rage in his eyes as he is going to call upon his reckless attack and roll with advantage
No!
against Grukka. Oh, I rolled a natural 20 and a 17. All right.
Okay, I can.
That is going to be 11 points of slashing damage. And then with his offhand, he's going to punch you in the face as a bonus action.
Are you still standing?
Wait, how much damage did he do on the first hit?
That was
11.
11 points.
Yeah, I'm still standing.
You
yeah.
rolled
Yep.
really well on your hit dice.
But,
Okay. All
so
melee
you
attacks.
know,
So
the
he gets
hit with
another,
the
he gets
punch.
advantage
Yeah, he hit
again.
with a punch, right?
Yep. So that's going to be 18 to hit you. And you can see as he swings his fist, he has this silver ring on one of his fingers, and it just kind of like sparkles as it comes straight to your nose for an additional 5 points of damage.
Okay. I'm actually going to, when he hit me with the axe, I'm going to use my parry to reduce the damage.
Whoa! Smart.
I have a maneuver that I can use as a reaction.
Okay.
To, reduce the damage, and it's I have a superiority die. It's just basically a D8 plus my strength gets reduced, so it would be a D8 plus 4 would be reduction of damage. 4 plus 4, so I take 8 less damage on the total.
Okay.
So I only take total actually of 8 real damage.
Yep.
And I take the punch, and I know it's kind of weird, but did I notice anything? Does the ring look like Adon's?
No. Philomena, it's your turn.
She knows that this isn't gonna do anything in this moment, but she feels like she has to at least try. And she's gonna put an arm on Grukka and look to the big orc man that I don't think she knows the name of and say, I don't know what he's done. It sounds like he's done something terrible, but I need him to take down someone much worse than anything he's done. Please. Stop.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to persuade him.
It won't work.
I didn't think so.
Yep.
Then that'll be my action. And as I look up into his eyes, see that they're solely trained on Grukka, and I've seen that look of murder before in Grukka's own eyes.
Yeah, these
And
guys
as
are
a
two
bonus
peas in a pod.
action-
Could have been
As a
brothers.
bonus action, once again, that little light from under her cloak, that's now been torn twice. Actually, you know what? It's been torn across the chest. You can see it now. The orange-red amulet that looks almost like an eye seems to move. The eye itself looks up at him. And you see in his own eyes, there's a flare in it, and I'm gonna hex him. He has disadvantage on strength checks.
Nice.
And
Very
that's
cool.
what I got so far.
That's pretty good.
That's a pretty good start.
Yeah. So you're hexing the big guy.
And that is her turn.
Okay. He is hexed. All right, cool. That brings us to the henchman. Jesus, Mel, you haven't killed this guy yet?
Hey!
What the hell's going on over there? Oh, shit. Well, that is a
His name's
19
not
on
in
the
the book.
die. Yeah, Thug 1 is not in your book. That seems like it comes standard in every murder book. That's going to be, 23 to hit, Mel. Oh, yeah. 8 bludgeoning damage as he cracks you across the shoulder,
Ooh.
bashing you up against the wall of the tavern. So that was number 1. Number 2 is gone. Number 3 is going to attack Grukka. Damn. Okay, that's a 22. Grukka, that's going to be 5 slashing damage. Portis, you're toe-to-toe with this archer who's now brandishing a short sword. No, that's not going to hit you. I'm pretty sure a 10.
Nope, miss.
All right, and then there's another archer somewhere that nobody knows where they are, and they're shooting at Mel this time. Ooh, and they miss with an 8. Another shot hits the wall behind you. Grukka, it's your turn.
Grukka's going to swing again at this beast in front of me.
You have advantage because you used reckless attack.
Yes, you do.
I do, so I get to roll twice, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the first roll was a 17 plus 6 is 22. And yeah, so I got a 23 to hit.
Mm-hmm. Yep, roll damage.
14 points of damage.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah, that one staggers him a bit. He can feel this necrotic energy of the hex kind of dragging him down, and he takes a big hit from Grukka, and he just kind of like spits blood out of his mouth onto the ground.
And I'm going to use my bonus action to grab that second healing potion. And I'm going to, like I did before, without taking my eyes off of him, going to pull that bottle out, grab the cork of my teeth, spit it into his face. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 points of damage I heal.
All right, Portis.
All right. My hammers are attached to my wrist with the cord. So I'm going to just open my hands and go to my signature move and then grab this guy by the face and inflict wounds.
Oh, shit. Okay, is this a con save?
This is a
It's an
melee
attack roll? Okay,
Yes.
holy cats. All right.
Come on.
God, 10.
Oh, you miss. They just parry your hand out of the way as your spell is released but goes wide. Damn, that sucks.
Portis!
So sorry, Portis, but at least you're not getting your ass kicked over there. They keep missing you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of missing going on over there.
Yeah.
The archer's kind of like, should we just call it good? I mean, go our separate ways. I didn't come here to fight an old lady.
Oh.
That brings us back to Mel. Unless there's something else, Portis, that you want to do before your turn ends.
No, I'll leave it at that.
Cry.
It is a bat. Inflict wounds is amazing. As we found out in session 2 of this arc, if you didn't see that scene, go back and check it out. Mel, back at the top of the order. You got to do something about this guy.
Gotta kill this guy. She's gonna short sword dagger again. That's the only thing she's got.
Okay. Let's get it done.
That is a 24 to hit with my
That
short
will hit.
sword.
Yep, that'll hit.
That is 6 points of damage.
All right. Describe for me how you kill this thug number 1.
Let's
That-
go.
My short sword, she is so pissed of all the damage that he has dealt her. She just takes her short sword, stabs it right in his throat, and just
Oh,
holds
yeah.
it there and watches the life leave his eyes.
The weight of the body just sort of slides down the blade as your blade pierces through and just kind of hangs there on your hilt.
So
Grukka
she,
sees this over the shoulder. He goes a thumbs up.
so she,
No, Grukka does not see
yanks-
this.
So she yanks out her sword, lets him fall, and as her bonus action, she goes and hides, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and roll a stealth check and place your token where you want. Grukka, all you see is a
Okay.
big orc in front of you. That's a wall of a man.
That's 18.
18?
on my stealth
Yep.
check.
And where are you stealthing to?
I am stealthing right here.
Okay, just so you know, like it's going to be almost impossible to hide there because you're like right in the mix. If you were to go like around the corner, you could hide there, for example, but you can still stealth. People may not take notice of you, but you won't be hidden per se, if that makes sense.
Okay, I just don't want
Yeah.
people to take notice of me.
Yeah, that's fine, and that works. Okay, very cool. All right, that brings us to Zakar. He's here for one thing and one thing only: to put down this dog. Yeah, so he is going to go at it again.
Good hits. He's been hitting hard.
Yeah, he is gonna go reckless again. Yeah. With his great axe, that's a 23 to hit.
Yeah.
Ooh, shit. 14 slashing damage.
Holy crap.
And then he is gonna
God.
follow it up with a punch.
Punch. Miss.
That's only an 11. I think he misses as you sort of stagger
Oh my
from
God.
the hit. He kind of swings wide and just kind of glances off you, but doesn't do any damage.
Yeah, Grukka staggered. And he staggered at the right time.
Yep. Philomena. You watch as another massive. I mean, Grukka. Both Grukka and Zakar have taken some big hits, but Grukka has taken some massive hits. Luckily, he's had some healing potions. What do you want to do,
She-
Philomena?
Raises one hand is on Grukka. She raises the other hand, and there is an ignition in the palm of it that builds. And I'm gonna Eldritch Blast him.
Hell yeah.
And I would have disadvantage if he wasn't reckless attacked. So it's just a straight roll.
Straight roll. Yep.
That is 23.
Yeah. That definitely
Eldritch
hits.
Blast is amazing.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's a cantrip
so-
too, which is nice.
It is. And then I get an extra d6 because of Hex.
Yes, he is definitely hexed. Big time.
7 force damage,
Okay.
5 necrotic.
So a total of
So 12 damage total. And as
Okay.
it hits him, there isn't a heat that he feels, but that strength that I had sapped from him just kind of lowers. And there's a coldness that settles in his chest when I feel a warmth in mine.
Ooh, nice. Very cool. Yeah, you can almost see like as he exhales with this big snort, like this cold breath come out of his mouth as he prepares himself for whatever comes next.
And
Anything
that
else from
is-
Philomena?
Can I bonus action take out a potion of healing to have in my hand?
You can do that as a free action.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna have it in my hand in case Grukka needs it. I don't know how many potions he had. I know that I took 2 because he didn't want one of them. So this
Okay.
is his.
All right, sounds good. All right, so Thug
But I kind of like press
3
it into his arm where my hand was.
is going to make a swing at Grukka. I think that is a dirty 20 with the sword attack.
Yeah.
Grukka is taking a lot of hits here. 5 points of slashing damage.
Grukka coughs and a huge gout of blood covers the.
Speak up a little bit, Jeff. You're a little quiet.
Oh, sorry. He gets hit, and Grukka basically he exhales and coughs at the same time, and a whole gout of blood just pours out of his mouth, and Grukka drops his sword and hits the ground.
Ooh. Okay. Shit. Grukka's down. All right.
That's bad. That's really bad.
Back over here where this archer is fighting an old woman. Not very, very well either. They're going to take another swing with their what do they have the long short sword. Ooh, that I think is going to hit you. Finally, Portis, that is a 22 to hit.
Well, just barely.
Just barely. I'm rolling terrible damage though. Four piercing damage on the attack. So not great. Let's see. And Mel, what was your stealth roll?
It was a. Let me find it really quick. Sorry. It was an 18.
Okay. An arrow coming from an unknown location, because nobody knows where the archer is yet, is going to come towards Philiomena. And I think that's going to miss. That's a 9. So that brings us to you feel the wind as it flies past. Your companion Grukka drops to the ground. The arrow flies past and hits the wall behind you. And it is Grukka's turn for a death save.
Roll D20.
Yep. You want a 10 or higher for a success.
Come on.
First one's a 6.
Okay, so that's 1 failure. Portis.
I am going to upcast inflict wounds and try and take this guy out. So again, I grab for his face.
Oh. No.
Oh my god. Can somebody please give me an advantage? I just rolled a 2.
This poor guy.
Do you have your inspiration?
No, that got used.
That got used. Darn it.
Anything else, Portis? Swasare.
I'm gonna spit. As a free
That's a free action. I will remind our chat, if they do want to donate advantages for people who are currently dying, they can. Or dressed as old women in combat. All right, we'll go to the top of the order.
Roll was natural 20, and then after.
Oh, yeah. Mel, it's your turn. You're skulking along the side here, watching your friend Grukka, well, friend in quotes. You watch your companion Grukka go down. You see Philiomena engaged now with this massive orc, and then just beyond, out by the docks, you can just barely make out Portis fighting somebody. What would you like to do? Oh, Portis, thank you, Paul. Portis, you have an advantage, by the way. That's
First,
pandering.
First, I'm going to take a healing potion.
Hero.
Okay, bonus action healing potion. That's going to be the smaller of the healing potions. So that's 2d4 plus 2.
9 points of damage back.
Nice.
Nice.
And
9 points of healing
Grukka,
back.
you have one as well.
Oh, whatever.
And
Advantage. Thank you, Paul.
I am going to move just a little bit forward.
Mm-hmm. Still
And take out-
stealthing?
Yes, and take out my short bow and shoot at Zakar.
Okay. Give me a stealth check.
Sneak attack?
Maybe. We'll see.
I'm within 5 feet.
That's an 18 again.
Okay. All right. Take your shot.
All right.
You got to hit to get the sneak attack.
That's a 13.
13 just hits.
Come
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So I get an extra 2d6 for sneak attack. 3, 2, 3. And then that is 11. That's 14 points of damage.
14 points of damage. Mel, please describe for us how you kill Zakar
my God.
Cragtooth, an individual with a sworn vendetta apparently against Grukka, but also an individual whose name I think was in your book.
So she remembers him. His name stands out. Thick ink. So how could she forget? She screams, "Hey, you ugly bastard! This is for what you had a hand in murdering my brother."
He kind of turns towards you as you say that.
Shoots it right in between the forehead. Right in between the eyes.
Slow motion, he just kind of like drops backwards and falls right down onto the stone next to Grukka. Damn. Very cool, Mel. Yeah, okay, so that brings us to Philomena.
As Zakar falls next to Grukka, there is a hiss. It sounds almost like a animalish sigh of satisfaction as she kind of raises her hand, and that heat that was in his eyes rises and goes into the Thug 3.
So you're using your...
the hex,
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
using my bonus action. And I will...
What are you going to hex him with? Strength again?
Strength as well.
Okay.
Yeah. He wasn't one of the ones that was hit by my flames. He's been untouched, right?
Correct.
She takes that healing potion that's in her hand. She kind of tears her eyes away from the scary elation that she's felt and pours it into Grukka's mouth, the healing potion that she had in her hand as her action.
Okay.
Can I do that? Is that
Yeah,
allowed?
as an action. Sure.
Great. 8 points of healing.
Okay. Grukka, you gasp for air as you feel the potion running down your throat, kind of choking you almost, but you come to, your eyes open. You're just kind of staring up at the sky for a moment. It's just peaceful and serene. You don't hear anything. And then it sort of like seeps back into your ears as you hear Philomena calling out to you to get up. Anything else from Philomena? That's your action, your bonus action. All right.
I'm stepping away.
Okay. You're going to run. Okay. Sounds good. That brings us to their turn. And yeah, fuck, this guy's going to take a swing at Grukka. Grukka, you are prone on the ground. He's attacking with advantage. That is going to be, yeah, that's a 19 to hit.
Yeah. Yes.
That's going to be six slashing damage. And he's going to take another attack at you. 16 to hit for 5 slashing damage.
Yeah, that puts me back.
Philomena and Arrow, you're down again?
Yeah, it puts me back.
Yeah.
I only gained 8 hit points back, so you did.
Philomena and Arrow comes flying your way.
Okay.
I think that one's going to hit. That is a 16. Does that hit, Philomena?
That does hit.
Okay. So that is 5 piercing damage as you're running along the side of the building trying to get away. You take a bolt from the longbow right in the chest, in the side. You can kind of hear the wheezing of your lungs as you're running.
Can I see where that came from?
Give me a perception check.
Perception is there. 7. There's a lot happening.
Yeah, there's a lot happening. And then we'll go over to Portis. This whole thing over here. What's going on over here?
We're dancing.
Yeah, I'd say so. Short sword attack, 17.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Ooh, that is going to be 5 piercing damage from the short sword. That is their turn. Grukka, death save.
But it reset, so maybe you'll see.
Yeah, it resets.
Yeah. All right. Let's use my good die.
I think you have that advantage as well from
Yes, you have an advantage.
Penborough. You can use it if you want
I already
to.
rolled, so I'm not gonna. I rolled
Okay.
15 anyways.
Oh.
Okay.
Success.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So success.
We'll take that. That's
That's
fine.
good. That's good. All right, Portis.
All
Let's
right,
do
I am
something over
using
here.
I'm using my advantage. I am going to cast Inflict Wounds once more.
Come on, let's hit this time.
Come
Standard.
on.
Come on. Mel is like, good God, do something about that.
12 doesn't hit. Then maybe a 15 will.
15 hits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, shocking head.
Oh,
18
man.
You,
points.
Penborough.
What's that?
18.
18 points.
Portis, describe for us how this poor archer
Yeah.
This
dies.
poor archer. This
Yeah.
poor archer has slashed me or stabbed me 3 times.
Yeah, a couple
As I've
times.
been trying to grab them and they're dancing around like. And then the last time they stabbed me, I just stand in place and my hands shoot out, my arms shoot out, and I grab them by the face and my thumbs go into their eyes and this necrotic energy erupts in my hands and their head just shrinks and sizzles and is blackened into about a third of its natural size. And then I drop them on the ground.
Oh, brutal. And they are 100% dead at that moment. Very nice, Portis. Do you want to do anything else? You've used your action, but you haven't used your movement. You look down the alley and you see Philomena running in your direction alongside the building. You watch as an arrow comes down and hits her in the chest as she's like staggers a little bit and keeps running. You can see a bunch of people laying in a pile on the ground over here in this general area. And you can, I don't know if you can see Mel. You might not be able to see Mel from where you are, but you can see Philomena running in your direction. What would you like to do?
Okay. But I saw her take an arrow.
Yep, you saw the arrow come down and hit her. All this stuff's kind of happened at the same time. And as you finished off this archer, you turn and you watch as she's running and you're like, oh, and then right in the chest, she kind of staggers and keeps running.
Okay, I'm going to cross the distance about halfway between.
Mm-hmm.
And hold my ground there, but I'm going to look in the if I saw her take the arrow in the chest, I know the rough direction that it came from, so I'm going to study that area.
Roll perception with advantage, please.
Sweet. All right. Ow. 10 or 7. 10.
Yeah, it doesn't quite. You're not sure. You think, I will say this, you get a sense that it's coming from somewhere over here.
Oh, okay. Man. All right.
And I would also say you're a smart guy, aren't you? What's your intelligence score?
Intelligence is pretty average. 11.
You think it's coming from high ground
Okay.
based on the angle of the arrow flight. All right. That is your turn, Portis. Do you want to say anything or do anything
Yes.
else?
Philomena, around the corner, here. Over here.
As you say that, Portis, as she's like nodding and making her way towards you like as quickly as she can, you hear the clang of an alarm bell. Ding, 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 ding.
Boy.
To arms, to arms. And you all know what that means, the Night Watch. It sounds like the Night Watch are coming. All right, Mel, you're at the top of the order here.
So I can hear that bell, correct?
Everybody can hear it. It's loud. It's coming from the east. And people are shouting, and I just have a timer on the board. You guys don't know what it is, but in a certain amount of time, you're going to have company.
Great.
Okay.
Wonderful. Amazing.
So
It's good stuff.
Mel is going to use Misty Step. She is going
Nice.
to teleport behind the hex.
Oh shit, yeah.
And she is going to sneak attack.
Yeah.
with her
You
short
can
sword.
attack with advantage because you are attacking from basically from concealment with that move.
Yeah.
Alright, so short sword. Let's see.
Play Misty for me, would you?
Misty-Ville.
A 12.
12 hits.
Awesome.
Yep.
And that is 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage. This is the this guy hasn't taken many hits. But you just hit him hard.
That's with the extra 2d6.
Oh, that's not with extra 2d6. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, you add your
Oh,
your sneak attack
5
damage in
extra
there.
points of damage.
Okay, so 13 total. Gotcha.
13.
Okay, nice.
Thank you
All
for
right.
reminding me.
That is Mel's turn. Anything else, Mel?
Nope. The Misty Step was my bonus action.
Got you. Okay. Philomena.
I think she's looking back over her shoulder, seeing Grukka bleeding out on the ground, seeing the sky over him, and knowing what's gonna happen. If she doesn't do this now, she raises her hand again, and just under her breath, quietly to herself, says, "I'm so sorry," and will Eldritch Blast him.
Okay.
Or try to.
Let's see if it hits.
13?
Yep. Roll some damage.
Ooh,
Nice.
boy.
This is big. This is
Boy.
important.
Oh, boy. 6 force damage.
Okay.
4 necrotic damage.
Oof. Yeah, that he takes notice of that. Just hits him. He kind of staggers back and kind of bumps into Mel a little bit, and you can just see this black like necrosis just scatter across his chest and up into his neck as the hex is taking its toll upon him. Do you want to move at all, Philomena?
Yeah, she's gonna keep running towards Portis, but in that moment that it hits, you're gonna die here. Accept it. And she's gonna run to Portis.
Okay.
20. I can move through allies, right?
Yep.
25, 30. Rounding the corner.
Okay.
And she like pushes her back against the wall, and she is like a near panic attack, kind of breathing, hyperventilating. And that's her turn.
Okay, that brings us to their turn. We will start with this hexed thug who he takes that blast, sort of recoils, bumps into Mel, who just hit him hard, and he is going to spin around and try to hit you, Mel, with his sword, excuse me. That is going to be 16, Mel.
Yeah, that hits.
16 hits. That's going to be 4 points of slashing damage, and he's going to make a second attack.
Okay.
That is only a 10. He misses with the second attack. Let's see. The archer is going to take a shot at you, Portis, as you are now exposed, and his target has disappeared behind you. Yep, that's going to hit. That is a 17 on the die plus 21 to hit. That is going to be 5 piercing damage as you take a longbow arrow to the chest. And I will say this, Portis, you, because of that shot, you know where this individual is. They've exposed themselves.
All right.
Not improperly, but in a very proper way. And they are on top of this building, hiding behind the apex of the ridge line of the building. That brings us to Grukka. I need a death save.
Good-okey.
You have 1 success so far?
17, so that's 2 successes.
2 successes.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
I don't even know what that means.
Portis,
Yes.
what would you like to do?
I would like to do several things. I turn to Philomena and I say, "Go for the horses. Get the horses." And then
Okay.
I cross to Grukka. And I will bonus action cure wounds. Wait, is it a bonus action or it's an action? It is an action. I will cure wounds on the man.
Let's go.
Called
7
man.
points. Then I will bonus action consume a healing potion myself and say to Melantha, "The archer's on the roof."
Okay.
I got her.
Anything else, Portis?
Actually, I feel pretty accomplished right there. I think that's all I have.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Very good.
How
All
many
right,
hit points
Mel,
was that?
goes to you.
So Mel is going to use her bonus action and disengage.
Okay.
And she's going to move over here and start climbing.
Okay, give me an athletics check.
Ooh, nope, that's a 6.
Yep. Yeah, you're having a hard time getting up this building. It's a 2-story building, so it's pretty high up. And you're having a hard time with that. But it's a good effort, nonetheless. Anything else from Mel?
Nope.
Okay. Philomena, what are you gonna do?
Bonus action, take out a thin vial and drink it.
Okay.
To stop her from bleeding, because I imagine it's probably dripping. It's 5 points of healing, and she's going to start running towards where she knows the horses to be. And as she does, Bonnie Hart once again appearing as she just takes off.
Okay. So you're gonna take off kind of to the south?
Yeah.
Down in this direction?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That was Philomena's turn. Brings us to their turn. Oh, let's see here. God, this guy, you guys haven't put this dude down yet? Who's hexed? He's gonna attack Grukka, who's still laying on the ground, by the way. Grukka has not had a chance to get up.
Oh, regret.
Attacking prone. Dirty 20 on the first attack. Grukka, that's going to be 6 slashing. Second attack, that is a 16.
It meets it beats, but the 6 from the first attack already knocked me out again.
So the second attack hits and does
Wait, how many
critical,
hit points
is a
did I
critical.
How many hit points did I heal? Was it 6?
I think it was 5.
Oh, I'm definitely down.
Yeah, nevertheless, you're
Six.
down. And then you take a critical hit, which is an automatic 2 failed death saves. And then an arrow is coming off of the building towards Portis. I don't think that's going to hit you, though, Portis. That is only a 12.
Whoa, close, but it didn't.
You
get
duck
me.
out of the way as it comes flying past you. Grukka, this is sort of a make or break deal. You have 2 failed death saves.
Yeah.
You need a 10 or higher, otherwise.
Hey, it's a 50-50 chance, man.
Yep.
Grukka live by the sword. Grukka might die by multiple hits from swords.
Lots of hits.
A 19.
Okay. All right. So 1 success and 2 failures. The roller coaster of life here. Portis. The
My
bell clanging, ding, 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 ding. You can now
Yes.
hear the sound of boots on stone, like in formation. The-
Yeah, what can go wrong? I'm gonna lunge at this guy,
okay.
and I will. Yes, I will upcast inflict wounds. Boom!
Come on.
Come on! Oh my god! I cannot believe my dice.
No.
That's an 8.
Yeah, that doesn't hit.
But I'm gonna bonus action Shield of Faith.
Okay, smart. Anything else from you, sir?
No, that's it.
Okay. All right, I will say this. In multiple directions, you see guards racing in. Philomena, they're running past you. Give me a deception check, please, Philomena.
Okay. Absolutely.
You did say that you changed your guys, although they wouldn't know what they were looking for anyways. Does that cover up the wounds that you would have too? Okay.
It would cover up my appearance. 17.
Okay. Let me see if these guys
And
are
just in case, I'm gonna add a D4 as well.
Yeah. You don't need to. It's fine. It's they pay no notice of you as they're running forward. Yeah, these guys are all sort of like swooping in from different directions. All right, Mel, we're at the top of the order. Holy shit, what a battle. What's going on? What are you doing? Where are you? Oh yeah, you can also hear like the boots now, and you can see that guards, these night watch, are starting to swarm in. What do you want to do?
So Mel is also going to use her disguise kit. She's going to make herself...
Disguise kit?
I do have a disguise kit.
Okay, you're going
to make...
All right.
Yeah, she's going to make herself look like a frail old woman cowering on the other side of the building.
This is going to be more of a performance check than anything, because let's be honest, in 6 seconds to put on a disguise, it's going to be tough. So give me a performance check, or you can use a deception check, whatever you'd like. Either of those two will work. The DC is going to be a little high. You're in the middle of a combat field.
That's a 4. That doesn't make it.
Yeah. Hey, you! Stop right there! You do still have your movement.
She's going to,
Let me ask you a question. I'm going to ask each of you an important question.
Okay.
Do you plan to make a stand here? Or do you plan to escape what's happening? Mel, let's start with you.
Oh, sorry.
That's right.
I'm escaping.
Okay.
I'm just going to stay here for a while.
Yeah, you're good where you are. Philomena, you're obviously escaping. Yeah, you're heading in the opposite direction of what's happening here.
Yes.
Okay.
I would like to tell the guards that are passing me something, but...
Okay, we'll come to that in a minute. Grukka, you're not really going anywhere. Portis?
Yeah, as soon as I can get Grukka, the plan is to escape, yeah.
I will say this. If you I don't know what your plan is to get Grukka, but if you do that as your action, it's going to cost you. You're probably going to get captured. And you know that. And you know what the stakes are.
Then I'm out of here.
Okay. Mel, how are you going to escape? Let's go down the list.
I am going to...
Don't even worry about the map anymore. Pretend the map doesn't exist. Just tell me what you want to do.
I'm going to hide.
Okay.
In the shadows along the building and just make a dash for it in the opposite direction of where they're coming.
Okay. All right. Give me do you have anything that can help you with this? Do you have any magic that can help you? Do you have any, basically any magic that can help you hide better? Because they did see you as you were trying to sort of put on this act.
No, the only thing that I would have been able to use was Misty Step to teleport.
Okay, so what you can do is you can use your movement to move your 30 feet. You can use your action to dash another 30 feet, and you have a bonus action dash. So you can actually move like super fast. So you could just freaking outrun these guys, basically.
Oh, well then hell yeah, I'm dashing and dashing.
Dash, dash, dash. Yep. All right, so you just take off running into the darkness.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, and they swarm in on your position, but don't worry about the map. They swarm in on your position, and they don't find you as you disappeared into the darkness. Philomena, you see these guards, these night watch running past you with spears. There's 5 of them, and you said you wanted to do some interaction. You already kind of deceived them.
Yeah, she's gonna kind of reach out to one of them and say, I was in the tavern. There was a woman that got like jumped by some thugs or something. That someone like risk their lives to save her. I don't know. Please help him. And as she says that, she's just gonna keep running.
Don't worry, ma'am. We'll have this under control in just a jiffy.
Thank you. And
All right.
hope that did something and just run.
Yeah, they were already deceived. So as you take off running, that brings us to who's left of the Zakar party. Oh, Grukka. Oh, Grukka. This last individual, and Brother Portis, you watch as it happens. He reaches down, picks up Zakar's axe. He's covered in blood, and he just says, "He was my friend. He was a good man." And he just swings, and he's gonna cut Grukka. Now, Grukka, you are making death saves. You have it's well, if it hits, it's a crit, and I rolled a natural 20 and an 18. So as he swings this huge axe and he cuts Grukka's head right off, the head rolls across the stones, and as that happens, a spear, 1 spear, 2 spears, 3 spears come flying in and hit this guy, and he just takes them all, drops Zakar's axe, and falls down on the ground as blood just spills out in this pile of dead bodies. That brings us to Portis.
As a free action, I grab Zakar's axe. As an action, I cast Channel Divinity and Duplicity. And then as a bonus action, I run in 4 different directions. And myself, I'm running in the direction that I sent Philomena.
All right, awesome.
Oh, shit.
Give me a percentile roll. You want to roll above a 25. 25 or less, they are going to get an attack on you as you run away on your actual self. Anything higher than 25, they're going to go after the duplicities.
Here we go.
Come on. This is the getaway.
How about
Well,
12? Because
my
why
Oh,
not?
shit. All right, so one of the guards is going to get an attack on you as you're running away.
Okay.
As a result of this.
I hate my dice tonight.
Yeah, your dice have not been kind to you whatsoever. Oh, that's cocked. A 16 on the die. It's going to hit you. It's going to do... You're going to take 2 piercing damage.
Right.
And I will say this. I will make a deal with you, Brother Portis. If Brother Portis, as a result of that attack, drops the axe on the ground and continues running, he will get away. But if he wants to take the axe, he's probably gonna take another potential attack.
No, I'm out of here.
So you just drop the axe on the ground and just take off running into the darkness, following in the direction of Philomena generally.
Yep.
Okay. As the guards swoop in, the door of the tavern opens and the patrons flood out into the street, obscuring Brother Portis's escape through the crowd. The guards, the night watch, kind of swoop in and kind of form a barrier around the dead bodies of Zakar, Grukka, and a pile of henchmen. We do know that the archer on top of the roof is maybe still there or got away. We don't know what exactly happened to that individual, but they certainly had a bird's eye view of everything that happened. On the ground, laying there in a pool of blood, a head having rolled across the stone, is Grukka Sharpe. Now, Grukka, what would be like the last moment of Grukka's consciousness? Where does his mind go in that last moment before he enters into the realm of death?
He's been laying there and he's been feeling the hits. You know, every time someone heals him, he feels the hits again. And that one last time, it's like almost like someone putting like a torch right in front of his face. It's like blinding, even though his eyes are closed. And he suddenly, this figure steps out of the light, and he looks and he sees it's Adon. Adon puts his hand out and says, "Let's go. I forgive you." And then Grukka dies.
And that, my friends, is where we will end tonight's session on an up note. Wow. All right. Well, Grukka, well done, my friend. Well played. And
the hits were hard. You had some good dice.
Zakar was not messing around, and yeah, I did roll really well.
More 20s and unnatural 20s were floating.
I love your dice, Jeff. I mean,
yeah,
Dave, I love
my
your
dice were brutal tonight. And I will also say this, guys, I kind of forgot a couple of things that I should have probably been doing that would have made it even worse. I think you would have run earlier, but anyways, nevertheless, here we go. You had your showdown with Zakar. Mel can scratch off another name in the book because Cragtooth is dead at her hand, which was pretty awesome. But we did lose one of our parties, so we will send him off with I wish we could give him a hero's send off, but we really can't because he was just a diabolical son of a bitch.
Grukka's not going by himself. Zakar will be right next to him.
That's true.
They can have their fun in hell.
They probably will. All right. Well, thank you guys all for hanging out. I apologize. We went a little bit long, but we didn't want to break that combat in half. That was too important to wait. So thank you guys very much. Let's go around the table. Stick with us, folks. We're going to raid into someone. I'm going to find a raid target while my friends here tell you who they are and who they are playing or played in this game. Let's go ahead and start. Let's start with ScottishJeff. Jeff, well done, sir. I think Grukka got his just rewards.
Oh, Grukka, he did. Thank everyone for watching. I want to thank Part of Adventure earlier. He had some really great comments in the thing. But yeah, it was a pleasure to play. Playing Grukka Sharpe. I like to think that Grukka had a split personality, and the good Grukka went with Adon. The bad Grukka's probably having a beer now with that damn Cragtooth. But yeah, it was fun. I mean, he died the way he lived, by the sword, going down by the sword. He just wished he could see Cragtooth go down, but he didn't.
Yeah, shoot. And I wish he could have got up. Like, that was part of the problem, was that he was pinned to the ground in that melee, which kind of sucked.
Shades of Shadow Dark.
It was. We even had a couple D6 rolls in there to spice it up, slowly but surely. But the Shadow Dark seeps into our game. Thanks a lot, Jeff. Really appreciate it. Grukka was a troubled, multifaceted individual, that's for sure. All right, let's go over to Dungeon Mr. Ty.
Hey, thanks for having me. I am Pieces of Portis are still alive.
Yeah.
We've been playing Portis, the trickster cleric and head shrinker of the party. I am
that's for sure.
I'm somewhat in shock. It's been a great no punches pulled session, so that's really awesome. Adventure Sling Productions is the company. You can find everything that I do at adventuresling.com. I am headed to Big Bad Con this weekend. I will be there Thursday through Sunday. And back on stream here, there, and everywhere. Also 2 podcasts that you can catch on the website or elsewhere. The Adventure Sling podcast, where we talk to all kinds of cool people that do stuff in the industry. And the Chronicles of Nephis, which is a dramatic solo play set in New Varden. So hope to see you there, and thanks for having me tonight.
Oh man, thank you for making time for this. You're a busy individual. You've got a lot of great creative projects going on, and they're all amazing. So I really appreciate you being here and helping tell the story. Let's jump next to Rachel. Rachel, thank you so much. You had us like tearing up. It was some amazing role play. Really appreciate that from you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, I'm Ktyria, also known as Rachel. I'm a bit flabbergasted at the moment and devastated all at once. Wonderful session. Oh my gosh. I'm Ktyria on Guild Superior. If you want to reach out to me for whatever reason, you can message me there on Discord. I will be here next week, and then possibly in the future at some point. We'll see. That's it.
we have some time to recover before the next game, so that's good.
Yeah.
Rachel, thank you so much. You bring so much great energy and just great role play to the game. So you can guarantee you're going to be invited back here more and more.
Thank you so much.
Let's jump next to Coco, whose birthday is coming up. So happy pre-birthday, and thanks for being here.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this session, so many up and down emotions, roller coaster. Holy crap!
Yeah.
But
To finish.
I'm so sweaty. So sweaty right now.
But thank you so much for having me again. I enjoy playing the crap out of Mel. I'm glad that y'all got to see a little bit more of her backstory. That she's murdering for a reason, not just because she wants to. Maybe just a little bit, but yeah. So Thursday, you can catch me on Jay's stream. We will be bringing back some characters from his 24-hour session. So stick around for that. It's supposed to be really fun. And then Friday, it's my 30th birthday stream. So if you want to just, come by and say hi, it would make my day amazing. And that's all you have to do.
Do it.
Come by and say hi and say happy birthday, and then that would make my day. And then possibly Saturday, if scheduling works out, I'll also be back on Jay's stream as well. But yeah, other than that, that is what I got going on this week.
Well, thank you so much for being here. And again, happy birthday this Friday. We will definitely stop by. And if you're not, I just assume everybody's following Coco, but if you're not, Coco's Twitch channel link is in the chat. Please follow her and wish her a happy birthday. We would appreciate that very, very much. I wanted to just make sure that I point out a couple of quick things before we raid. We're going to raid into our friend Captain Robert, who seems to always be playing something. I don't know how they do it, but I want to make sure that we point out that on Saturday, we will be diving back into Tales from the Loop with our friend Alan Henry, who has brought Alan Henry and Friends, we're calling it, because he has brought some folks from New Zealand to Guild Superior's table, and we're having a blast. The first session is on VOD here on Twitch. It'll be up on YouTube in a couple of days. Just a great first session. I'm very excited to see how things go with this adventure. I've never played Tales from the Loop before. I know very little about the world, but it is so fun to play a 10-year-old nerd. I'm having a blast with it. So super, super jazzed about that. And then I also want to make sure that we plug a game that's starting back up in November 2nd, I believe, is Tales from the Whisperwood with GM Shiv and another table of great storytellers. This will be part 3 of the Whisperwood trilogy. So you can sort of read between the lines. It's gonna tie things together that we have left untidied in the previous couple of adventures. So very, very excited about that. Shiv is a fantastic GM, very fun, and just a all-around sweet fella. So very excited to have Shiv back in that role. So thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it. Please support all of the creators that we work with, including Dungeon Mr. Ty's work with Nuavarden, and make sure, I'm going to just drop a couple of quick links in here. Make sure that you check out Tabletop Audio, Greyhawk, Anna B. Meyer's Maps, the Greycast, and House of Eidolons. All of those links are in there for you to explore. Thank you all very much. We're going to go ahead and raid. Whew, what a night.
What a night.
Oh, Grukka. Grukka. Bye, everybody. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.